Yo, what you saying to me? Big Dog back in the building. You done know, and I'm with my boy Stripes, Loose Cannons. We're back again. We're about to get busy with it. We've got a special guest today, King Zest. Big up yourself,
Yeah.
my brother. What you saying to man?
What's happening, bro? You good?
Yeah, man, we're there, man. You done know, bro. We're inside.
Yeah.
You get me? We're ready to go. Champions League game just done. You get
Yeah.
me? What you saying? Furthermore, Stripes, big up yourself as well, dog.
Yeah, come on, my brother, man. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to have Zest in the cut as well. Obviously, we've done a few pieces of content together recently. So yeah, man, it's just a pleasure to welcome him to the Loose Cannons, man.
Yeah, come on, man.
I think just to give some context as to why we call it Loose Cannons is because Doug and I we tend to disagree on a lot of stuff when it comes to Arsenal. So yeah, in terms of when the cannons are meant to be shooting in the right direction, but one might be shooting this way, but I'm shooting the other way.
Bro,
we rep the
same loose cannons, bro. We're argumentative. Yeah. We like man's a loose cannon out here. You know what's this? You know when you're on road, man just mad. He's a loose cannon. You can't that's what it's like. Me and Stan when we get into this game.
It makes sense.
Yeah, this is why Zest he fits in as well, still because it seems he tends to disagree with a few of my takes as well. You know when you first lock in, like obviously the love of the badge in it, so we're all hunky dory. But then we get talking a little bit more, and I start to realize, he's one of them ones.
Yeah, no, I'm one of them ones. You're one of them ones, bro. It's you.
He's extreme, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Extreme. You get me? He's very extreme. Listen, quickly while we're here, big up everyone that's looking in on Twitch, everyone that's looking in on YouTube. Big up yourselves. We're gonna get into it. Arsenal play the Champions League game today, brothers. What's your man's thoughts on how that game went down, man? What you man saying?
You know what? I'm not mad at the final scoreline. Because if you'd asked me at the start, I actually thought it would have been a 2-1 or a 1-0, and it's turned out to be 1-0. Now I'm not mad at the scoreline, so to speak.
Yeah.
Not mad at the performance either. The penalty situation, I'm a little annoyed by that, just given the situation, because at the end of the day, I thought it was a penalty. There's not really much more I can say about that. 100% thought that was a penalty. Whether it was a soft penalty, it doesn't matter. Penalty is a penalty. And I definitely believe had that been in the other box, if that was Gabriel, then that penalty would have stood. You know what I mean? That penalty would have stood 100%.
And for me, I'm kind of where Zest is, man. I thought it was a decent result, man. If you told me before the game was played, before a ball was kicked, take a draw and go into the Emirates, I'm taking that. I'm taking that still. Obviously, the way the game's played, you feel a little bit hard done by because I think we got robbed in it personally. I think that the Ben White one. All right, cool. We obviously watched the PSG Bayern Munich game. We saw that penalty that was given, so it was kind of similar. I think Ben White's one was probably even worse, to be honest, in terms of shouldn't have been given, just where I think it's come off his knee and then he's hit his hand. But the moment you saw it, you knew it was going to get given. In the Champions League, they've been pretty consistent in that regard. But then you see the penalty that we should have got where there was contact with Eze. Nah, we got robbed there. Like my whole thing is, even if you think it was soft, because I thought it was soft still, but was it a clear and obvious error? That's the question you got to ask yourself, because that's what the VAR is there to intervene if there has been a clear and obvious error in a refereeing decision. Now, I don't determine that to be a clear and obvious error. Therefore, VAR shouldn't have interjected. So, in my opinion, and not just my opinion, just by the letter of the law, we've been robbed. So it just feels a little bit hard done by to not be going to the Emirates with the 1-goal advantage. You get what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree, because I feel like what Messi Raf Guna's saying here, Simeone was influencing officials. They need to be stronger. Yeah, I feel like everything that was going on, Atletico Madrid's thing was to make it a cauldron. I don't feel like they felt like they had the skill to beat us. You get what I'm saying? I feel like they tried to drum up this atmosphere and they were calling for it. Me personally, I feel like we got robbed. I feel like the Ben White situation shouldn't have been a penalty. I don't think that Eze challenge should have got overturned. But then I kind of see what they were looking at. Like Eze, there's contact, and then Eze kind of wraps himself and throws himself over, and that's where they're probably looking at it and saying that it's not doable. But at the same time, it's a penalty. In my eyes, it's a penalty, and you got and that robs us of coming away from that game 2-1 up and then taking it back to the Emirates and then playing haram football just to get us through to the final. Do you get what I'm saying? But
at the end of the day, it may have been like I said, it may have been a soft, like quote unquote soft penalty, but still, it's still a penalty, right? There's contact
100%.
there. Let's not act like there's not contact. And even to the point where you're saying like Simeone trying to make it a cauldron, they're supposed to do that on the pitch, but they only done that off the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're going to the screen, you're taking things into consideration. What's most annoying about that whole situation, bro? That shot was about to go 20 yards wide. That's the worst. Do you know what I mean? So it's not even like you could say it was going in, it was going toward goal, bro. The shot was going hella wide. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like nothing Ben White could have done. Nothing.
Yeah, and I thought they were gonna bring that into the situation, the fact that it was going wide, it wasn't on target. Like you give a penalty, like are we just giving penalties for just it touching anyone's hand? But they did the same thing yesterday, so I feel like we can't complain about continuity because they did. It's the same thing they done in the PSG game where Alphonso Davies to come off his fire, hit his hand, they gave a penalty. I felt like to keep it on track, they had to do the same thing here. I'm guessing. Do you get what I mean? But
I feel like that's had a big effect on today's.
Yeah.
I feel like it's had an effect. That's exactly why. You know what I mean?
Well, it puts us back in. We go home with the advantage, which I feel like this team. Big up Warren.
Do you think it is an advantage? Because we're in I'm in a Gooners chat with Zest actually, and we was having a discussion in there where a couple Gooners aren't trying to claim it as the advantage that it is. I think
we've just gone to the Metropolitanis or whatever you want to call it, and just. Literally, put it this way, we wasn't great, right? And we're not playing great football, but Atletico threw the kitchen sink to the best ability of what they can do, and it wasn't good enough to come away with a win for them. Do you get what I'm saying?
And they were at home.
They were at home. So 1-1, we go back to the Emirates, where hopefully our fans can lift their voices and make it a bit of a like an atmosphere for that game. And I'm not like what Warren said, big up Wazza. He said it in our group that he said, I've not seen anything from this Atletico team to say that they're going to go back to the Emirates and cause Arsenal any problems. Don't get me wrong, they are dangerous, but I think at home with Saka being back, he was a little bit off it today, but I feel like it's just good to have him back. And I feel like he'll probably play Eze in this game. He'll probably make a few changes in the starting lineup. We'll be better. Do you get me at home?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair.
I follow the same train of thought. To be fair, I think if the roles were reversed and at the Emirates they held us to a 1-1 draw, and then we were going to play them in Spain, you'd definitely be saying that they got the advantage. But I don't know, like I think what's going on at the moment now. I think there's hella coping mechanisms happening at the moment, around our fan base still. Like, and I get it, man, because obviously we've been subjected to this football. We're not inspired by this football because of what we've grown up. Some of us have grown up watching, but then some of the younger fans, what have you grown up watching to be so like, despondent in regards to the football that we're playing? To me, you're influenced by what you're reading online. You're influenced by rival fans. Do you get what I mean? And I think it's just at least genuinely, it just has to be a coping mechanism at this point where it's just like, you're like, oh no, we ain't got the advantage. It's always just doom and gloom. I get it, man. We ain't won like a Prems for like 20 plus years. We ain't won a Champions League ever. Mm-hmm. We've been inundated with FA Cups, a couple charity shields along the way. I get it, man. Like there's a lot to be doom and gloom about when you're considering chasing like the big.
But the thing? We had this conversation as well, Strides, the other day, right? And brother, we're in the semi-final of a Champions League, where it's looking like we go home into the second leg and we could hopefully be in a final. And
Take it
then
for what it is, man. That's
we
what I'm
got a
saying.
shootout with Man City to the Premier League title. That if we go on to win that, and now especially because the Premier League have now said that they're not going to change around the fixtures for Man City, and they have to play the fixtures in order. That is a big advantage. This is the time more than ever that we have to be positive. Like we have to kind of.
This is where I'm at, and obviously, like I get, and I'm just trying to say I get their doom and gloom, because even me, like I've had my reservations with the gaffer, but you got to sometimes just take things for what they are. If you are in the semi-finals and you've drawn 1-1 away from home and let's have it right, in my opinion, Atletico Madrid have got more pedigree than us in the Champions League. Diego Simeone is fighting for his third final. Mikel Arteta's never been in the final of the Champions League. The last time we've been in the final of the Champions League was in 2006. None of these players that play for Arsenal right now have been there. You get what I'm saying? So they got more pedigree than us at the moment. So if we are leaving their stadium with a draw and we have it all to play for the Emirates, it's an advantage. Yes, I get it. Like it's still 0-0, but it's an advantage. You're playing in your home. You're playing in front of your home fans. You're playing with on familiar turf. You saw how quickly Mbappe freaking slipped as soon as the game kicked off. Mbappe slipped straight away. Like Tottenham was having that issue at Atletico Madrid. I don't know what's up with their ground, but everyone seems to.
Yeah, it's dark arts with them, man. Come on, the Simeone is there. We know what them are on. This dark arts.
Everyone.
We ain't got to worry about that at the Emirates. So how are you not going to see that as an advantage? I appreciate it's 0-0, but how are you not going to see it as an advantage still?
But
So,
like you said, a lot of men are on this doom and gloom, Tim. A lot of men are on this negative, always trying to find reason to blame someone and to be like, it's a good result. 1-1 is a good result. It could have been 2-1, but considering
I'd say decent result. I wouldn't say
good. I'll say it's a decent result. And considering that even in the second half, Atletico turned it up. They had a few chances, hit the post. We hung on in there. We defended well. We grinded it out. And yes, we should have been ahead, but we came away with a result. We had a few chances. In little flashes, I saw a little bit of football. But for me, it's considering how we're playing and getting through these games and getting these results. I think that's the main thing for us. Like it's not great. Like I see man saying, today, why isn't big up Mo? He was saying, why isn't Declan Rice given the license to bomb on? And I'm like, bro, like you got to understand, like our attack. I said this: if you gave us Bayern Munich or PSG's attack, we'll clean up everything. Yeah, because with our defense and with a better attack, our midfield can play the way they want to play. We'll clean it. Right now, our attack is letting this team down. Where it is that Declan Rice now has to play in a double pivot with Zubimendi and cover and that, because there's no confidence in the fact that this attacking lineup can hold the ball, can do something, because it goes straight up there. It's coming straight back. If he starts bombing and crashing the box, you lose possession. He has to then sprint all the way back to get into the structure. So the team has had to adapt to the fact that this is how we play. And I think sometimes, like you say, with the doom and gloom and people talking about the way that we play, they're not trying to take into consideration the fact that there are so many factors in the fact that this team can't play like how they played 2 seasons ago. Yes, we got the talent, but when the attack ain't ticking the way they're not ticking, you can't, you have to evolve and adjust in it. And Arteta knows he can't play like that with these boys.
You see the problem with the doom, yeah? Where we live in a time of social media, and a lot of people, like I'd say these youngsters, they've actually come through seeing this. Like, remember, they've come up seeing Arsenal bottle job situation, yada, yada, yada. So that's what they know. So as far as people are concerned, unless Arsenal win, it's a bad day. Like a lot of people now, they class draws as the same as a loss. Do you know what I mean? Man are crashing out over today. Today's is a decent result to take back to the Emirates. Like Champions League, the rules are win your home games, and when you go away, don't lose. That's it.
Yeah, straight.
You know, if you're in the position to win, you win or you draw. You don't lose. We haven't lost.
What I'm saying to man, I said this last week, and I didn't say it to be on some, because I know these men, all of a sudden everyone starts talking about these Arsenal man. But bro, imagine we went to the final, won it, got through it. We would have gone through the whole Champions League like unbeaten, invincible, basically. And people, what people want to say about, do you imagine the first time we won it, we would hate that. Yeah, they would hate that. But what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of panic when you actually take into account like what Arsenal have done. yeah, and what they are doing. Yes, it's not been pretty. Yes, it ain't been whatever, but bro, they've gone this whole length for this. Even got into Atletico today, got the draw, not beaten. Probably go home, hopefully nick it 1-0. Probably, I reckon we'll play better at home against Atletico. I'm predicting like a 2-0, maybe something. They might score, who knows? But I think we'll shut them down. And we're into the final, and anything can happen with whoever you're meeting on the other side. Do you get what I'm saying? But
I think what happens in the second leg is slightly contingent on what we do on Saturday as well. You know, us Arsenal, man, we're a confidence team, innit? Big up Gaza as well, man. I'm crashing out with you, bro. If we don't go to a parade,
we gotta go to Saturn.
Guys, we're going to a parade, man. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'm saying the same thing. We're going somewhere, bro.
Yeah,
we're bringing something home this season. I'm telling you, bro.
I hope so, man. Because boy, you know your boy's been down in the dumps about our freaking our prospects after that freaking final loss. But you know what, Arsenal's been doing small things to kind of lift my hope back up, and performances like today lifts that hope back up. Performances even at Newcastle, I weren't inspired by the performance. I won't kid you in it. Like I'll cut the crap. Like I weren't inspired by the performance, but I was inspired by the win because you know last time we was live, I said that I didn't see Newcastle as being a problem. I thought our only problem fixture would be maybe West Ham. So getting a win against Newcastle, not losing against Atletico, and a clean sheet, not getting not losing against Atletico, getting a draw. Now all I need to see us do. Win at Fulham, comfortable win at Fulham. Let's get a little bit of goal difference.
Bro, I'll take a 1-0 at Fulham, bro. I'm telling you.
The thing is, at some point, we need to start trying to take advantage of our advantages. So there's no point in saying we have an advantage playing at home if we don't take advantage of our advantages. So I hear it. Against a team like Fulham, who we're struggling to score goals at the moment, but Fulham have struggled to score goals all season. That's a team that I'd be looking to get a +2 on my goal difference from, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying it's a given because Fulham has upset us. They've got a couple of the old boys over there as well. But I don't know what Fulham's got to play for. Actually, they got Europe to play for marginally. But what we got to play for means a lot more, in my opinion, should mean a lot more to us than what they're playing for means to them. So I'm expecting a good performance at Fulham. If we get that good performance at Fulham, then Atletico, man, I think it should be we should be going there full of beans and dealing with them how we dealt with them in the group stages. And I know that's a bold assertion to make, but at some point, man, we got to start getting that momentum. We got to get that momentum going if we want to actually win something. Otherwise, it's back to kind of doubtful strives, man.
I think it's the Burnley game, man, for the goal difference.
Yeah,
I think so. But it went the Burnley game for City. It weren't Burnley game for City.
But Burnley, they were away at Burnley. We played Burnley at home.
They were at Turf Moor. We're at the Emirates. See, my thing is, look, 3 points from Fulham. I'll take a 1-0. I don't care. Yeah, 3 points against Fulham. Do the business at the Emirates against Atletico, and the Burnley game is where we need to, you know what I mean? Because for me, the Newcastle game was never a banana skin. The only potential banana skin for me is West Ham away. And that's just because they are fighting right now. They're dogging. Do you know what I mean? And it's getting techie. It's getting techie.
Got picked up 3 points on the weekend as well. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's getting techie. So they got stuff to fight for. Now, in an ideal world, what I wanted the league wrapped up by now, so that when we play West Ham, we can put Miles Lewis Skelly in goal. You know what I mean? And West Ham can do whatever they want and get
in goal.
I see what you're saying. We want to see Tottenham relegated as well, innit?
Yeah, bro. If the league was wrapped up, we could have put Miles in goal and said, West Ham, have fun. You know what I'm saying?
But this is what I'm saying. I think, right, a lot of people keep on talking about this goal difference thing, and big up Gaza because what you're saying, do City drop points, right? I think definitely. The reason why I think the Fulham game, winning it above, forget the goals, is important is because that's 6 points on the board that City don't. Remember, that's 6 points before City play again. They play on Monday, and they got Everton away, which is a hard game. They got to go to Everton on a Monday night when everyone's going to be watching, That's a hard game, And now, because of the way their fixtures are set up, now they got a hard run. Their run's hard. They go Palace, Chelsea, Bournemouth, Aston Villa, in the last week of the season. So they play 4 games in the space of 8 days. Like technically, when you break it down, like the run, or in the space of 2 weeks in the run of games that they got. So as long as we got the points on the board, the pressure's on them to kind of turn up in their next few games and the fixtures that they got, and try and get a result. So for me, I think that's where the season's won for us. I think they drop. I 100% reckon they drop points at Bournemouth.
They're definitely dropping.
They're definitely dropping points at Bournemouth. Now, if we drop points at West Ham, they drop points at Bournemouth, then it takes it to the last game of the season. But then, does Aston Villa need a win? If they lose to Nottingham Forest and Forest go on to the final, then Villa need a win in the last game of the season. Then they're going to have to show up at the Etihad. But I think if they win Europa the week before, they go and get rolled over. They're not doing us no favors. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're on the beach, mate.
So it all depends, but I do think City have got another drop in them. I think they're going to drop points, and I think West Ham away is always a banana skin, but I think we can get a result, maybe a draw there, and then try and win our last 2.
At the very least, and then obviously Palace last. It depends what they're on as well, because obviously Palace have got potential Europe, the final, and they've got City and Arsenal. One to last, and then we're last. Our last game of the season is at Selhurst Park. So
you know when you said sorry. You know what? I was just on Flash Score, because when Doug was like saying West Ham is always difficult there, I was thinking in my memory it hasn't been though, and I just wanted to just double check. You know, like last time. So I'm looking at our head-to-head matches. We beat them 5-2.
Yeah.
We beat them 6-0.
6-0 the season before.
Yeah, the season before.
Yeah, we've turned West Ham over there. I think the only time we moved to them, but you know what it is? They've in certain games they fucked us up when we needed it. Mainly last season when we won 1. It
was 2023.
And the season before when we was the City one, when City won it. I mean, when Liverpool won it. We drew with West Ham, and had we won it, no, they beat us 1-0. Had we won it, we could have gone 5 points behind Liverpool, but we lost the game 1-0 by a Jarrod Bowen goal, and and then Liverpool went and won their game, and then it ended up extending the lead. That was last season. So that's why people think that West Ham can be a banana skin, because that was a time when Arsenal couldn't break down a low block. Teams were sitting in and we was getting beat 1-0. We was losing games 1-0 to these stupid
and
teams.
Obviously, again, the fact that they are...
Was that at their ground,
No, it was at the Emirates.
No, it was at Emirates.
Yeah, it was at the Emirates. That was when David Raya did that sprint. Remember when he pushed on for the corner and then he had to sprint back and then win the challenge? And then, it was that game.
That's because I'm particularly talking about at their ground.
No, at their ground, we turn up. We turn up at their ground.
I think the only time that the one that at their ground that I can remember that they upset us was when Thomas Partey tried to, when he tried to, he did try to kick the ball over Declan Rice.
When he tried, I always talk about that. Remember, I always went mad about that when he tried to flick the ball over fucking Declan Rice's head.
I think Rice fouled him though. Rice fouled him,
but you know what?
He got away with it, and then we lost that one, innit?
Bro, that season pissed me off because them man thought they were too wavy and started to do bullshit. Remember, we lost the lead against Liverpool. It was 2-0 up against Liverpool. They brought it back. Then we went to West Ham 2-0 up against West Ham.
That was Granite's fault though, man. He started. He rounded the 12th man up, brother, and that was it, man. We got
but yeah, man. I think the league is still on. I think Champions League is still on. Also, just to go back to today's game, what do you man think? Odegaard got dragged after the 50-something minute. Warranted. What's you man's thoughts on Odegaard? What you man saying to me?
You know what? One thing I will say, and I'm not gonna lie. Like Strides will tell you, I'm not an Odegaard fan anymore.
Anymore.
I've been pulling Odegaard out since last season. Like, I don't know what it is. Like that, the man had a baby. It's like he didn't want to pay a nanny, so man's doing late night shifts. Ever since his youth come, man's just been off it. Like, it must be late night.
He went vegan.
Bro, whatever it was, it's just capitulated it. Yeah. But I will admit today, like once he came off, it's not fully this because Second half, Atletico did step it up, but we lost a bit of control in the midfield when Odegaard did come off. That I will say. But again,
I feel like the control was already lost. That's why he dragged him. I think when he brought on Eze, he had to regain the control because remember they were on us. They were doing a mad thing. Everyone, but then that's why he had to make the change and bring off Madueke and Gabriel Martinelli and that.
Once Saka and Co came on, and it was Saka, Eze, and that, then we started to get back control.
The
last 10 of the game,
and I think that final. I think when we get to the final, I reckon. If we get to the final, I reckon the lineup you will see is Eze on the right, Odegaard in the 10 with Saka and Gyökeres. You will see a more certain, because I do think now that Saka's back, because he's coming back from injury, I think he's going to break him in gently, but I think towards the end of the season, he will start most of the games, I reckon.
Yeah, Saka should Saturday, really. Now,
really, but I think he will still go with Madueke and then start Saka for the Champions League, I reckon. That'll be their aim, to get Saka ready for the Champions League game, I reckon.
Possibly.
I think Odegaard probably should have stayed on a little bit longer today, to be honest with you, in my opinion. I think I would have liked to have seen him and Eze on the pitch at the same time.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, I think him getting pulled at 57 minutes was a little bit early, in my opinion. I think it was probably perhaps an oversight from the gaffer. It's not a good look for the captain to keep getting dragged like before the hour mark or on the hour mark. It's not the first. It's not isolated. It's not the first time it's happened. So obviously there's some sort of disconnect between what Odegaard's given us and what Mikel Arteta is expecting. So there's definitely some sort of there's definitely some sort of disconnect there. But for what it's worth, as me that was watching it, I did think he was taken off a little bit earlier. Odegaard, he had an okay first half. I think where Gyökeres did pretty well, like when he burst in, he burst through a head on goal, tension off the defender, and put that pass into Odegaard. I think Odegaard probably should have done better there.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he should have scored there. I do think.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, I do think we did lose a little bit of control. I don't know if it was as a product of just subbing him, but I think it contributed, which is why I think I would have liked to have seen, the team that we kind of played against Newcastle. I would have liked to have seen that at some point. So I would have liked to have seen him on the pitch. Yeah. But to answer your question, how I'm feeling about Odegaard, I still think there's space for him in the squad, man. I think he's still got quality. I think my problem with Odegaard is his durability. He's become a little bit too brittle for me. So where he seems to be getting injured so easily, that's why I might be open to listening to offers. You get what I mean? I'd love for him to finish the season strong, have a good World Cup, and if we get a good offer in for a man like Odegaard, I'd maybe listen to it just on the premise that he's not been as durable for us. Now, unless Arsenal's going to change the way that we utilize him and maybe get off the idea of him being our cam and maybe play him like maybe City player Bernardo Silva, then he's probably a player that I would look to move on, because I don't think the Odegaard that we grew to love towards the end of the 21 season and then 22-23 season and even 23-24 season, I think that Odegaard's beyond. We've lost that guy now. Still, I think he's a different guy now. But yeah, I've still got small Odegaard stuff.
Bro, I'm done. I can't lie. I get what you're saying about he's useful. He is, but in the positions he's useful. If he dropped down and he played beside Declan Rice, you're useful. Drop him in an 8 role, and then you're not expecting him to be creative and he can recycle the ball, drop deep, and play with it. That's not what he's there for. He's there to be creative. He's there to play in a 10. He's there to do what, kind of like what Eze started to do towards the end of the game, where you start to play those passes in behind and create something. Look for the runners, which is difficult because. One, I'll say the wingers don't give you nothing. Martinelli and Madueke can be a bit of loose cannons. They don't know what they're going to do. They're unpredictable. They start off strong, and then throughout the game, they start to fade off. And that's what happened. When we lost control of the game, Martinelli was all over the place. Madueke wasn't tracking back. It was just starting. You could start to see the gaps and start to see where Atletico were trying to get stronger, and that's why Arteta made the subs. But me for Odegaard is that he's not doing it in the areas that we need him to do it, and this is why we lose control of the game. This is why
where is he doing it, bro?
He's not. But the problem is what he does offer, like we see in other games, is that he does come in, drop short into the midfield to make it a free, because normally you have Declan Rice and Zubimendi there. He does come short, which kind of does help us get out. It's weird, but then when we get out, he's not where he needs to be effective. Do you get what I mean?
And then when he's there, he's still not effective.
And when he's there, he's not effective, and he always recycles. Refer back to the Newcastle game when he could have played Gyökeres in, and then he came back and he cut back in and played it. Just play that pass. If Gyökeres misses it, he misses it. But this is the thing where we're lacking goals and players that are not seeing those passes in behind. But then when you look at Man City and the way they play, and then you look at some of these other teams and United and the way they play, they're always looking to get in behind. They're always looking to play that man in. But we don't. We want to set up, and then by the time the defense resets, now we're trying to break down this low block, and we're too reliant on keeping the ball and playing slow, and that is part of the problem, and he is part of the issue. And I've seen it with Eze. When Eze drifts in, he's capable of playing them passes that Odegaard can play, but he's scared to play. And that is the difference. I think next season, it is going to be time for him to go, and I think I'm happy to cash him in and let him cut, because
get him out, man.
I'm tired. You know what I'm tired of as well as an Arsenal fan? This thing where we know the potential of a player and we're happy to wait on that potential to come into fruition, and it could take 2-3 seasons.
That's a good man, bro.
Yeah, like even like the rumors saying that they're gonna sell Gyökeres in the summer. Like, I like Gyökeres, but if they're gonna sell Gyökeres in the summer and go and get like a Alvarez, or now we're linked with Victor Osimhen and stuff like that, and they're gonna go and show intent to go and get another madman or get someone in that they feel can, then so be it. Like, for how much I like him, and I'd like to see him play with better attackers, but if they feel there's another solution and they're gonna go and do it, like, for me, yes, he scored 18 goals this season, but that first touch and that clumsiness isn't cutting it.
You can't sell Gyökeres. We're not selling Gyökeres.
No, but that's what they're saying.
19 goals now, by the way.
19 goals.
But I like Gyökeres. Don't get me wrong. I like Gyökeres, and I want him to do well, and I want him to succeed. But let's say we kept him for another season and it didn't really kick off, then I'll be like, we can't hang on. We can't hang on to man no more.
You know what? Loads of people are selling their Gyökeres stocks, man. I'm even like in the group chat. Again, this Guanguna group chat. A lot of people are tired of Gyökeres, man. You know what it is with Gyökeres? Yeah, he struggles to play football. For want of a better phrase. What I mean by that, is in you can't really rely on him to hold up the ball. You can't really rely on him for link up. You can't even rely on him to hang off the last man and spin off and make the run. It's kind of dark sometimes.
It's rough and tumble, fam. It's rough and tumble football. This is what I'm saying.
But the thing is, where I give him a little bit of some leeway is, one, is his debut season, and two, I just feel like Arsenal have not tried hard enough to play to his profile, play to the kind of
100%.
To his style, you know what I mean? And I think despite all of that, for him to still be on 19 goals, that's kind of what I was been asking for. I've been asking for a striker to score me some goals, innit? I actually wanted 2 strikers, to be honest. So hearing that we still need a striker, for me, I'm not surprised. I knew that we needed one, because Gabriel Jesus kind of was playing as a left back or a right back from early anyway. Kai Havertz, he's done his thing when he's played up top, but he seems to not be as durable nowadays. And Mikel Merino was a kind of surprise element that we'd stick him up top and we'd get a couple of goals, but they were never going to be long-term suitors. With a man like Gyökeres, you need to kind of adapt your play and style to suit him. But what we're doing is we're asking him to adapt his style of play to suit us, and it's not kind of working.
But we're not even playing how we used to. I think if we had Gyökeres in the season that we finished second the first time and the second time, that style would have suited him. The way that we was playing faster football, was attacking a lot better. Now he's kind of joined us at a time where we've now adapted to this kind of rigid structure of play and how we're just so robust. It's not going to suit the way he plays. He's a man that likes to run in behind. Maybe him going Liverpool or Man United might have been the better option because Man United play a lot more counter-attacking football than we do. Do you get what I mean?
I get you, bro. And this is why
I'm still Team Gyökeres though. I'm not.
And the thing is, I've been up and down with him, mainly because whenever I put a bet on this guy to get a shot on target, he doesn't get a shot. And for me, when you lose me money, that's when I'm like, this guy's a pile of trash. But when I'm back in the room and I'm calm, like I look at it and I'm like, look, if this guy has scored like 19 goals in his first season and he's not stopped, he's not finished, he's gonna get a couple of more goals. And to be fair, he's actually won me money now because I had a head-to-head bet with him and Ekitike. Yeah, but I've got stocks in Gyökeres as well, to be honest with you. For me, I've got stocks in him as well. Like, I think to myself, like he can only get better. I'd give him another season at the very least. Yeah, you get what I mean. And sorry I want to just pivot from that as well. I like when people keep moaning about our style of play. Fair enough. But then what I don't get, why you're moaning about our style of play, when you're not moaning about the results that come with it. So if you're talking about, we're now in the semi-final with 1 foot in the door for the final, we're top of the league, and we're fighting all the way to the end of the season. Do you think that's because Arteta's been playing expansive, free-flowing football, like where we're open, like how PSG and Bayern Munich was? No, like we've been quite robust. We've been very resolute. We're hard to break down. We'll win a goal by the 1 goal, maybe the 2 goal margin. In Europe, where they allow us a little bit of space, where we can flex a little bit. That's why you'll see Nelly with more goals. That's why you see Madueke with more goals in those competitions. But ultimately, our style of play is the way Arteta has designed it to be. So instead of like moaning about Gyökeres, Saka, all these men that you're cussing week in, week out, I'm like, guys, you are the same guys that will get onto me if I say, I want a new direction for the club. I want a new gaffer. I need guys to kind of make their mind up. Like, which one do you want? Because it comes up, I'm supporting this gaffer style of play more than the man them that want this guy in, and I want him out.
I'm not complaining.
But bare man are complaining, and I'm
no, baffled. But I feel like a lot of men are influenced by the banter. A lot of men are influenced by the banter, the talk, and I feel like they worry a lot. Like there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of worry. So they're thinking with the style of play not being great means that we're closer to a drop off than getting better. Do you get what I mean? So there's that anxiousness around it. Me personally, would I not want us to see us play better football? But then people were saying yesterday's game against PSG and Bayern Munich was the greatest game that they've seen in a long time in Champions League, But I watched the video today and the brother broke down the defending, and it is atrocious. So, we can go and play expansive football, but best believe, you bring that defense to the Premier League, you're getting opened up. That's why you're looking at Wolves and you're looking at Tottenham and you're looking at these teams that want to try to play better football that are sitting in the bottom half of the table. Like when you actually look at the teams that are struggling, they're the teams that probably you would say played a bit, like are trying to play football, but they haven't realized that the Premier League's adapted and moved on. Like you've got to be more robust, more defensively strong and all of this. So for me, I just think the style of play, yes, it isn't the best. And what's more, what pisses me off, let me just add this. I think the style of play, cool, but what pisses me off more is when they're not doing the basics well. The mispassing, but it comes with the pressure of playing at this level and what's going on. So
that more so falls into place when the pressure is on.
When the pressure's on. But I think if you're doing the basics well and you're playing like this and you're getting the results, then fuck it. If that takes us to a treble or a double or Premier League title, and who cares? What's
the most entertaining game you've watched this season?
The most entertaining when we played.
Not all games. This Premier League game, Premier League teams, or even in the Premier League.
They all vary. Someone said to me the Premier League's been the worst it's been, but then the week that he said that to me was the week that I think there was a 4-3 game, a 5-1, something like a couple game weeks ago where was it Sunderland beat or Brentford beat Sunderland 5-1 or 4-1 or 4-3 or something, or like.
But if you had to pick one off the top of your head, like it's not like what would you do? You have one in mind?
Nah,
I've got one.
Which one?
Arsenal versus Man United. We lost
when
it.
They beat us.
I ain't gonna lie. But that was a like, you know, when I'm watching that game, I'm thinking, oh man, this gave me like flashbacks to how it used to be like when man was growing up. Like I'm talking like 20 plus years ago, you know what I mean? That's how the fixtures used to be.
I'll agree.
And then when I'm thinking to myself, wow, like, so one of the probably the best Premier League games that man watched, Arsenal was involved. I'm looking at some of the best Champions League performances. I'm talking from balance. I'm not just talking about a goal fest like Bayern Munich versus PSG. I enjoyed that, but try and know if I was supporting one of those teams and that was Arsenal, try and know I'd be stressed. But I'm talking about in terms of a balance. Well, I've enjoyed when we beat Atletico. I've enjoyed our game against Inter. I've enjoyed a good couple Arsenal performances.
We beat Bayern Munich 3-1. I enjoyed that game too.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I think I was even there. I think I was even there. I'm trying to say I've enjoyed Arsenal's football enough times for me to be like, you man are playing this way because it's a means towards an end, and I can get behind it as long as we win.
But then the narrative, but the thing is, the narrative of Arsenal being boring is just a narrative that they've brought up just to keep the pressure. Like, this is the thing, right? Now look, Arsenal let City back in, right? Okay, cool. It's a shootout. Now everyone's talking about goal difference. I mean, no, it's not about goal difference. It's about getting 3 points on the board. But everyone's trying to now say that Arsenal need to score more goals. What in scoring more goals means you got to open up even more and then put yourself at risk at getting counter-attacked and conceding goals. Do you get what I'm saying? When really, in reality, the 3 point, you get what I'm saying, kind of thing. So every step of the way, they push a narrative, to try and get Arsenal to do a certain way, be a certain way, because they know Arsenal's way of football right now. This is why the rival fans pushed the quadruple narrative more than we did, and now they were celebrating the fact that we couldn't do it, is because there must have been a slight fear that they could, because this is the thing. If you look at the way that Arsenal play and everyone's saying it's boring, look, Arsenal's killed the league and that, but then if they carried on playing this way, if Arsenal played this way but can and was in everything, we could strongly believe that this team could clean up if they had better attack and a little bit better. Do you get what I mean? So they don't want us to play this way because there is a fear that if they play this way, they can get the results. Imagine this, if no one cared about Arsenal and the way they played and they thought the way that we played would cause us to lose games, why would you want us to change our way of playing if it would make us better? You'd want us to play the way that shit I like. Do you get what I mean?
The rival fans.
You know what I'm trying to say?
I know. I fully hear what you're saying. I don't really give a fuck about the rival fans.
But that's what I'm saying. But this is where all the narratives come from.
But you see, but you see, when I'm talking talking about our own fan base that are moaning about the way that we play. Because you know, when you man were talking about whether you got your Gyökeres stocks or not. You get what I mean? And then I was talking about how so many of our fans are tired of him, ready to shift him on already, and a load of our fans are tired of basically our whole attack. To be honest, I can hear the frustration, but I just think it's misplaced because it's like this is by design. Like these players just don't turn garbage overnight. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say it's by design. It's not like Saka hasn't all of a sudden like he's not just dead all of a sudden. In fact, before we went online, I'm certain I saw TNT tweet that Saka had the most successful dribbles in this game, and he's only on for 20 minutes or so. You get what I'm saying? So his underlying numbers are always decent. You get what I mean? And I saw this comment. I saw this comment from Ronnie, and I laughed when you were talking, Doug, because you know what's ironic. Check the stats, Did you see the game today? We had more shots in this game, I think, than the game yesterday. And more shots in open play as well than the game yesterday.
But let me say this: if we had a 5-4 game, if we won 5-4, we would get obliterated for conceding 4 goals or 5 goals, whatever. 100%. Yeah, that's first and foremost. Every just going back to what Doug was saying, the goalposts always shift when it comes to Arsenal. This is one of the worst seasons. But looking at this, where is it 33 games in now? 32, 33 games in. Yeah. There's a 5-game shootout for the winners of the Premier League. Yeah. There's a 5-game shootout for who's going to actually get relegated from the league. I think it's from, is it 5th place to 12th or 13th? There's only like a 5-point shift on who can make Europe. The Premier League now is at a stage where no game is guaranteed. We've gone to Wolves where everyone would have said, we're gonna walk all over them and drew. Liverpool fans laughed, you man, Liverpool went there and lost. Yeah. So how is it that all of a sudden this is the worst league ever, but yet still you've got teams like, a Big Six team, who are fighting relegation, but yet still this is the worst
you, man.
ever.
It's crazy, man, and we just buy into it. If we just buy into it, it's just jarring of buying into it.
That's what it is, the difference of buying into it, and that's why I'm saying, like, for me, prime example, I'm in a group that's got like different supporters. I unfortunately cannot accept banter from Spurs, man. Now you man are below the line. I'm sorry, you cannot banter. Like it's outrageous. How are you gonna be bantering with people? Like even tonight, when in the group trying to stir up Arsenal fans. You man didn't play well. You came to defend. Big man, you've got much bigger problems. What are you talking about? Like,
man got bigger fish for fry, big man. I'm telling you.
Why are you putting yourself in Champions League business, bro? You're not gonna see Champions League for years. Yeah. If you man get relegated, you're not gonna see Champions League, bro. You're gonna be watching, you're not even gonna be watching it on the TV because on the Tuesday and Wednesday, you're gonna be playing the Auto Glass Trophy. Big man, got other things to be focused on.
But this is the point I make, right? And I'm gonna big up Ronnie for tuning in, Spurs fan, right? And I'm gonna big this up. I'm gonna say this, right?
He said,
and this is the thing that gets to me, right? And this is what I always say, man says your forward line is bad, Ricky Martelli, and none of you out of play, man.
Ronnie,
right?
Ronnie,
but hear this though. My thing is, like, when I buck certain fans, I'll go to the gym and then I'll see a rival Man United fan, like some of the boys like Kunz and them man at the gym or whatever, come up to me, run up to me. Arsenal is shit. Arsenal with this, you man are rubbish. Da, da, da. And then I'm like, bro, why are you so invested and so angry? Like, Ronnie saying our forward line is bad, and cussing our forward line, but his forward line has got him in relegation, bro. Like, there's more things that you need to be worried about than worried about Arsenal's forward line. But better yet, trying to convince us that our forward line's rubbish. Like, the whole, like, this thing of, like, every minute these insults come in about Arsenal's team and the lineup. Oh, Declan Rice is shit. Like, he's not the best midfielder in the world, but no one said he was. Like, Bruno Fernandes is better than him. All right, cool. You're all right then, isn't it? Like, Nonny Madueke, why would you spend 50 million on him? He's shit. You should have went and got. All right, cool, bro. Like, I don't understand why there's so much like aggression and anger and. Like,
but they're right on that one though. Still, I don't know why we did.
But even
I don't know why we did 55 million.
Okay, but then why did they spend 60 million on Solanke? If we're
this is what I'm trying to say. Like, there's other deals out there that have gone on. Like, come on, man.
200 bags a week. Like,
look at all the money.
That is true.
Look at all the money Tottenham has spent, and they're in relegation battle. Like, if they stay up, I don't want to see no teams go down. I love to see Tottenham.
No, I want to see Tottenham.
Like, if they stay up,
if they stay up, relegated. So
hard. Of course. Yeah. But if they stay up, there's some big changes and big things they're going to look at because they're going to be in the same problem next season if they don't fix it up. Because this is the thing, right? And this is the argument I was making with my boy, right? I was basically saying, man, are saying, like, even me and Strive spoke on this on the last episode, right? About what Arsenal were doing. And, bro, it's not easy to challenge at this level year after year after year after year, even the way that Arsenal have done it. And you sometimes wonder, can they sustain it? That's why everyone at the end of the season and the start of the next season say Arsenal can't do it again. They're going to fall off. But they show us they compete again, fall short, but they do it. It's not easy. So you have to give credit where credit is due to the fact that every year for the last 4 years or the last 3 years, however you want to look at it, we've been there competing, and it's only a matter of time before you get it over the line. None of these other men can do it, but yet they have so much to say about what we're doing when their teams, like Chelsea teams, like my boy was like, you know what, we got City in the final. If we win a FA Cup, that'd be one more than what you lot have got. I'm like, what's it got to do with us though, bro? Like, enjoy your cup. I'm not mad at Chelsea for making the final, and I wouldn't be mad at Chelsea if they won it. Like,
the comparisons happen immediately.
Yeah,
no matter what's going on, immediately. Like when Estevao had a couple of games, it got a couple of games under his belt.
You remember that this, yeah?
Goals, yeah. The first thing that was said, he's better than Saka.
I remember that.
He's been at 3 games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, did you see the Estevao masterclass against Barcelona? He's better than Saka.
Yeah.
Saka couldn't do that.
Arsenal has become the benchmark. Arsenal, and the thing is, even that we're saying this, viewers that are non-Arsenal fans will probably be mad at us for saying this, yeah. But you're making it what it is for us, because you will start these debates, and this is the thing, people will always blame it on the fact that maybe 1 or 2 Arsenal fans on another platform said something, but that goes across the board for all fan bases and all platforms. You're going to go and watch a Chelsea platform where Rory Jennings is going to say something mad about a Chelsea player or another player, that I could use that against all Chelsea players. Like, it don't work like that. Like, you can't go and hear what my man on AFTV went and said. Like, Ty says mad things about Arsenal all the time, but that's how he feels. It's his club, innit? But just because he said it doesn't mean you have to then run with it and be like, that's the opinion of all Arsenal fans, and be like, them man are annoying because these man. So what? That's his.
Well, that's exactly what people do.
But everyone says mad things.
Even the other day when someone said to me, "Oh yeah, look, you lot talk about the quadruple, but now it's just 2." And I said, "Okay, what Arsenal fan did you hear mention quadruple?" I said, because it was the media who were pushing the quadruple. Oh, no. Piers Morgan. I'm like, big man, you wouldn't follow Piers Morgan in any other setting, but when it comes to Arsenal, you're willing to follow Piers Morgan. Do you know what I mean? Like, even Laura Woods was saying it on TalkSport, I think yesterday or today.
Yeah, I see that clip. Yeah.
Everybody talks about the quadruple, which nobody has done before. No one's done the quadruple. Why? Because it's extremely difficult. Yeah, it's literally the top of the mountain peak. And as soon as Arsenal are not in 4 competitions anymore, you blew the quadruple. But nobody's done the quadruple. Like, nobody. Yeah. It's difficult if you said, Man United have done it 7 times, Chelsea have done it X amount of times. Nobody's done it. Do you know what I mean? Because it is something which is crazy. When we had to, like, even City talking about, it's not fair. The PGMO, they or the FA, they want Arsenal to win. That's why they're making City play all of those games. When we had to play 4 competitions in 1 week, or across a number of days, and they was away. We had to go into Milan. Yeah, we had to go to away in the FA Cup, away in the Carabao as well. Nobody cared. All of a sudden now, when it's City, the FA want Arsenal to win. Mate, let's have it exactly right. Man City done that because at the end of the day, they felt they could do that and get away with it. We're probably all more shocked that they didn't actually buckle and allow Man City to change their fixtures. Let's be real.
Yeah, but going back to that, like you said, where they're saying, the FA want Arsenal to win, they've stuck to the rules, bro. Basically, like what Man City was trying to do was to twist the rules in their favor, but they were saying it was to help with the fixture overload, but it wasn't, because the fixtures would have still been on the same day. They just wanted to switch the City the Palace game with the Bournemouth game.
Yeah, because
if they played Bournemouth earlier,
is it 11 days?
Yeah,
11 days rest or something.
Yeah, before they played them in that game. Yeah.
But when we played Bournemouth the other day, and Bournemouth had 20 odd days rest, nobody cared, bro. Nobody cared. It was just like, that's the way the cookie crumbles, Arsenal. That's what happens when you're in big competitions. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's be real. Like, we're shocked. Like, Man City thought, you know what, we can do a little PSG maneuver here. PSG have been doing it in League One. We can get away with it. Unfortunately,
speaking of PSG, have you seen the stats going around about how fresh their players are?
Bro, because they change all their players. Bro.
And this is the problem that we're having in it. I think it goes back to the conversation about the style of players that we're being out because of the way we're playing. They're having to run harder. So, like, you look at it today in the Atletico Madrid game, like, to get through these games the way they're getting through and how hard these players are having to run, I think we have to start giving them some credit because, yes, the football ain't great, but it's the way that we are set up now requires more physical, ability. Like, you're running hard, man. There's a lot of...
But there's people saying that Enrique... There's people saying that Enrique requires a lot of running from these players at PSG as well. So I don't think it's. I don't think it's.
Yeah, but then, I hear it. But then, what the benefit that PSG have is that when you look at the game that they played on the weekend, they swapped the whole team up.
But that's what I was about to say. So I think it's less about just the style of play because there's other teams that rely on a lot of running as well. It's more the minutes that are being played in France compared to the minutes being played by Premier League teams. Like, for instance, I saw it written that Calafiore, and he's our walking sick note, but he's played more minutes than man like Marquinhos, Dembele, Neves, Mendes. Do you get what I'm saying? Which is wild for Calafiore to have played more minutes than them, man. So it just goes to show that really, like, there is a freshness not being considered. Like, when you're looking at teams like your PSGs and the way that they're playing, and and how it looks like, and when you compare it to us, and then you see like Sky Sports did this thing where they were comparing the amount of minutes that our players have had. I don't know if it was just Atletico and if it was us. I think it was basically out of the teams left in the semi-finals who's played the most minutes, players, and I think there was like 5 Arsenal players that were in the top 5 in terms of minutes played, but that would make it look like, oh wow, like if you're not smart and you're not looking into context properly, you might think, oh wow, like Mikel Arteta is just overusing these players, and he is to some extent. But if you look at it, Liverpool have probably got like 10 players that have played more minutes than some of those players on the on that list. Do you get what I mean? The same for other Premier League teams. So it's a Premier League problem rather than being isolated to like Arsenal and isolated to Arsenal. And I think when Zest obviously brings up PSG, it just made me remember that these guys are like seriously fresh. So there's so much that we're up against. Like, so even if we get past Atletico Madrid, like, we're going to the final with guys with seriously labored legs. So
100%. But at least we could probably get proper week's rest. No,
that would mean a lot. That would mean a lot to us. But even
definitely will. Get there.
After the Newcastle game the other day at the final whistle, when all the players, like, well, not even all, but a couple of the players, like, final whistle, and there was just like, thank God, knackered. And I saw a lot of people, and I'll be honest, majority our own fans. Oh, the play acting. Why are we doing this? The game weren't that hard. Yada yada yada. Yo, you're talking about players that have literally been running all season. Like I said it on one of the pods the other day. Shouting for the Gunners pod. I said it at the end of the day. Zubamendi, since the United game, has regressed, but he seems to be picking it up more now. But you got to remember, Zubamendi has played more minutes this season than man's played in his career. In terms of when he's playing in Spain, man's got winter break, man's in heavy rotation. Now that he's at Arsenal, bro, there's no rotation, bro. We play players through the good into the bad, into the resurgence, and back to quality levels.
Well, the demand's there, isn't it?
Yeah, we're still playing. Because you know Arteta is a man. If Arteta could, he will play his first 11 every game all season. If he literally could. Do you know what I mean? Arteta's only swapping out players when they're half dead. Do you know what I mean?
Not really. I feel like he's had to rotate this season. We've seen a lot of rotation this season, though, man.
No, but
but it's injuries. Yeah, come on, man. Like Mascara, we've seen Mascara and White at right back. We've seen Hancapi, Calafiori. We've seen a lot. We've seen even Mascara at centre back.
I don't think we've seen enough.
That's not rotation. That's injury.
It's injuries. But then it's, at some point, part of the reason why I feel like even I saw another thing the other day that was basically saying about the fact that for this is one of the most seasons that we've not had any continuity with a starting lineup because we've not been able to play our first 11 like continuously the same 11 in a run of game for 3 games. So
due to injuries. But
that's the same thing though. But then that's the same thing though because you're saying you'll gladly run.
That's what I was gonna say. Rotation via injuries. I see that as different because you ain't got a choice.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't feel like we've had it this season where it's a thing he could have just ran his team out into the ground and done it because because everywhere there's injuries across the board. You got and plus where we're fighting, you can't afford to just keep rotating.
But like, bro, if we've
had Trossard start games, we've had Martinelli start games, we've had obviously he's run with Gokares, we've had Saka starting games, we've had Madueke in some games, he's brought Madueke in. Like, come on, man, you got to give him credit where credit is due. To a certain extent, he's rotated more than he did in previous seasons.
You also
how often has he done that because he's rotating the team or as opposed to necessity? I think that's the point.
Yeah. But bro, I hear what you man are saying, but in comparison to how it was last season and the seasons before, well, not even last season because we had so many injuries last season, but let's say the season we finished 4th the first time and that team literally burnt out because he ran that team. He's not done that since. Like this season, he's not run this team into the ground. It's like he had to play players. He's had to play players that need to play, bro. Like, everyone needs to play, bro. And the wickedest thing is because there's not been no continuity in terms of having a solid 11 for games, whether it be due to injury, but then there has been games where he's rotated and he's brought other players in, put Miles Lewis-Skelly in for the FA Cup games. And for the Carabao Cup games, he rotated the team, brought in other players. Yes, in the Premier League, he maybe not as rotated as much as Mandem would want to see, but then at the same time, you can't over-rotate and then lose the balance of the team because then if he drop, let's say he over-rotated,
why did you buy Norgard then? Tell me.
Why is he not using
Norgard? But then there must be a thing about Norgard. There must be, listen, I'll be honest, there must be some. No, but
it can't be anything. He's a Brentford captain,
bro. But this is what I'm saying. You're picking one player. Like,
let
me land. Yeah, you're picking one player in comparison to the whole team that has probably played a lot more minutes than Norgard. Now, there must be something that they're seeing because you remember it's not just Arteta. You know, he has a line of coaches. He has a team in it that are seeing something as to why they don't think they can drop Norgard in CDM in the big games. And there must be something that we're not seeing because I guarantee you, if they did think he could play, they would rotate him. Same way
did you rate him last season?
Same way they played it.
Did you rate him last season? Because you're a man. You're a man that watch football. Did you? What was your team last season?
In the Brentford team, in certain games that he's played for us, I think he's been decent. But
so what is it?
Do I think he's solid enough to be a game changer? I've seen games where he's actually not been that great.
Sometimes you don't need to be a game changer. Sometimes
not a game, but bro, at this level, be real. Let me just say this, yeah, because I think there's players, right, that can play at a level for a team where the pressure's different. And there's players that, like, when you go to a big club like a Man City or Arsenal or Man United, where the pressure is different, you can't handle it.
Yeah, but
so maybe they might see that.
There's 20. Yeah, exactly. Because there's 38 fixtures, across the Premier League. Yeah, for us and for everyone and everyone else. You can't tell me that all 38 of those fixtures come with the same amount of pressure. So
yeah, they do, bro. For us, they do. Every game's a fucking pressure game for us, man. Let's not pretend that every game that Arsenal plays in the league is not a pressure game, bro.
Bro, you're pretending because the pressure changes, Because
every game that we play is a pressure game in the league, bro.
Hold on. Let me say this.
Is there pressure on your first game of the season or your second game of the season versus the pressure to play?
Of course there is. We're going for the top. Let me say this. Let me answer your question. You asked me a question. Let me answer your question and I'll let you crack on. Yeah, you asked me, is there pressure on the first game of the season? When you're fighting for the title and there's pressure on you to win the title, there is pressure on you to win your first game, bro.
Is there more pressure?
Of course there is. We had Man United on the first game of the season. There was pressure on us to win that game. Am I wrong?
More pressure in your first or second game of the season than there is on, let's just say, this Saturday.
The 35th,
Is there more pressure on this in your first or second game of the season, even your first game against Manchester United at Old Trafford? Is there more pressure in that game than there is in the game coming up against Fulham on Saturday?
Allow me to answer. There's pressure in your first game of the season, yeah?
No, is there more?
Wait,
pressure?
let me land. Because you do this one where you want a specific answer. You said in something that you said earlier. Let me talk. Like you said in something you said earlier, you said it needs context. So I'm going to answer the question and I'm going to give context to the answer, yeah? Like I said, in the first game, of course, both games is a different type of pressure. But you know why? Because when you're at this game that they're going to play against Fulham, let's say you had Fulham on the first day of the season and you had Fulham now, yeah? Like we have coming up this weekend. Of course, the pressure is different because we're at the top of the title fighting with Man City where it's a shootout to the win of Premier League at the end of the season, yeah? Right? Wait, let me finish because I haven't finished yet. Wait, let me finish yet because you think you've got your question answered. I know you too well. Let me land, yeah? The reason why, but it doesn't mean that there's no pressure at the beginning of the season because like a team like Arsenal where you've not won the league in 3 seasons, the first game of the season is pressure because you have to win the league. Like, look at this, where when you look at teams that win the league, right? Yeah. The reason why there is pressure because teams that win the league, you can't be losing 6 games, 6, 7 games, 8 games. Like teams that win the league, they lose 3 or 4 games, 5 games max. So you have to win your games. So that means you win your first game of the season, you cannot be losing the first game of the season. So like this season, we had Man United as the first game of the season, bro. So you're telling me that Man United game wasn't a pressure game for your first game of the season. Yes, it's a different type of pressure to this game but it's still pressure, bro.
So Dougie, now that you've answered, you've landed, yeah. Mm-hmm. So let me just revert back to the actual question, because you've said that there's pressure. That's absolutely fine. Nobody is there's no discrepancy with that. Now the question, which was, is there more pressure than if you played your first or second game of the season in comparison to game number 35 or 36?
Yes, there is more pressure, but there's still pressure.
So there's more pressure.
So there's more pressure.
Yeah, but there's still pressure. You trying to know, but wait.
It wasn't about pressure.
Man tried to make out like the games early on in the season.
No, it was about
no pressure. When you watch it back, man tried to make out like the games early on in the season, there's no pressure. Can I think we've got a similar point here. Because I agree with you, Doug. Yeah, that there's pressure throughout the season, and when you're competing for the Premier League, yeah, that weren't disputed. But what we're trying to say is a man like Norgard, a Premier League captain from Brentford, like the point you're making is there something that we're not seeing or whatnot? And then to rebuttal that, man said, well, look, you're not going to always have highest stake, high pressure games throughout the Premier League. There's going to be some games that have more pressure than others where you can trust a man like Norgard to deal with. Okay, you might be playing Leeds at home in the first half of the season. You can bang him in there. When you're banging it, you can throw him in there. And when you're throwing him in that fixture, you're giving your man like your Declan Rice or your Zubimendi or whoever it is that you're resting. You know what I mean? Giving him an opportunity to rest there. Or you could even have a game like against even maybe, let's say even like someone higher stakes, Brentford for example. There was a game when we played against Brentford where I expected to see Norgard and I didn't. But and I'm like, that's a game that you can expect to see him. Like, so what my argument is that I'm not saying that you don't have pressure throughout the season, but if you're going to bring a man into the club, yeah, to raise the floor or raise the ceiling, depending on how you see it, to add squad depth. In order to actually get the best use out of your squad, you need to use that depth. And there's going to be some fixtures that you can use a man like Norgard, whereby you might not want to play him against Manchester City at the Etihad. That's fine. I get that.
See a game out. See a game home. Yeah.
What I'm saying
because we're getting rested.
But like I just said, yeah, and this is the point you lot are trying to miss, yeah. All right, cool. Let's say, let's say Arsenal bought me in. Let's say Arsenal bought me in. Let's say Arsenal bought me in. I'm signed for Arsenal on a free transfer, yeah?
Yeah.
Now I'm training with Arsenal and I'm playing with Arsenal, but they don't use me. And you men are like, why don't they use Doug, man? They need to start Doug. Like, throw him in for a couple games. But I'm just not. Wait, let me land. Let me land. Yeah, but I was a captain for the X1's SE Dons. I played for SE Dons.
But
Wait, let me land.
SE Dons in the Premier League.
You're gonna get the points. You're gonna get the points soon enough. You're gonna get the points soon enough, right? Because I hear what you man are saying. I agree with what you lot are saying. I hear it. But there is clearly a reason why they're not playing Norgard. They're not playing him because they just want him to sit on the bench, bro. They're not playing him clearly because he's not good enough. That is what it is. So what? No, bro, I'm telling you, he must not be good. Wait, let me land.
Yeah,
let me finish before man run off on a tangent. I'm not saying I think Norgard isn't good enough. Yeah? Bear that in mind, right? So because this is the thing where me and Strives clash because I would say something. Because
say the same shit as me,
I'm trying to explain something. Yeah, I come from a perspective where I look at what the club must see in it. Yeah, all right. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm looking at it like the club must be seeing something in Norgard why they're not picking him to play. Yeah, they've obviously bought him. They've brought him in from Brentford as backup, and there must be a reason why they don't want to play him. So we as the fan base, we can sit here and go, I've even said it, why don't they play Norgard? I've said it throughout this season. Norgard's there, why they're not playing him?
Yeah? Norgard and not with the management. Can't the management just be can't it be a misstep in management?
This is what we always want to do because the narrative is always to play. Wait, let me land.
Why do you want to play the player?
I'm gonna land it. You've asked me a question, but this is what I'm saying. We always land it at Arteta's door, yeah, and say, it's the management, why they're not playing him. Let me land though. Let me land. Why can't it be the fact that the player may be not good enough for this level?
Well, you still brought him in.
What do you mean you still play him? Are you listening to what I'm saying? If
a
player's not good enough to play, why would you play him?
No,
if they like Garza said,
Garza said he's got no legs. You still scouted him.
If you've got a player that cannot run at this level when you need man to run, yeah, and he's not good enough to run, why would you put him in a big pivotal position that we have as CDM? Remember, we had Thomas Partey in there before, and then you're going to let Norgard go in there and boss your midfield for a game that you don't want to lose.
Why did you bring him in then?
But because they thought that was it was an easy, cheap option in there as it probably hasn't worked. Bro, you man are talking like every fucking transfer is meant to pay off. Not every transfer pays off.
No. You're going wide now. You're going wide.
I'm not going wide. But you keep pushing the goalposts. I've made my point. You may not agree with my point, but stop pushing.
No, but it's not like that. So, look at it like this, yeah. You said like you're at SE Dons, yeah? Arsenal come in and decide that they're going to sign you, yeah? They're coming in. Look, here's the contract, 5.5 mil. They're going to sign you, yeah. But bro, remember, nobody woke up on Monday and decided they're going to sign you, and they bought you the contract Tuesday, yeah. So my argument is this: you've been watching Norgard, you've been tracking him to some degree. Hold on. Whether it's the scouts, whether it's the midfield agent, whoever it is, somebody's been keeping an eye on Norgard, yeah? This guy is the captain of an alternative Premiership team, yeah? Doug, you can't tell me, for love nor money, that this guy that you've now decided to sign, you've now brought him in, and from training, you've decided he can't fit in or go for Zubimendi or Rice on certain games against Premier League teams that he's been playing against the whole season prior and prior to that. So my point is,
all of a sudden he's not fit.
And all of a sudden he's not fit.
And all of a sudden he's got no leg.
But you just said the question yourself. Yeah, you're saying you can't tell me that you buy this player that's a captain and he's not good enough to play at the level. But man can tell you clearly because he's not playing, bro. If he was better, let me land. If Superman, put it this way, if Norgard was sick, yeah, they'll be fucking playing him, bro. There's a reason they're not playing him. It's because he's not good enough, bro. So stop telling me because he was good enough for Brentford, but he's not good enough for Arsenal's midfield.
So then what we only worked out when we signed him. That doesn't make sense.
But listen, it happens though. Wait, let me land though. It does make sense because every team makes way. It does. Every team that signs players in the summer, in the transfer windows, runs scouts. Yeah? Are you telling me that every transfer that every team makes has been successful?
Let me say this.
Answer my question. Answer my question.
That's what I'm saying. That is true. Not every signing is successful.
Answer this. Yeah. Does every signing a team make
Yeah, that's
always
what I
been
just
successful.
answered.
Are
Not
always
every
successful.
signing is successful.
All right, then.
That is correct, yeah.
So
But let me
that
tell you-
means, regardless, forget what they were when they at the team that they were before, because teams have bought big strikers. Fernando Torres, wait, let me land. Fernando Torres moved from Liverpool to Chelsea, and he was a fucking disaster.
But he played.
Yes,
But
he played, dog.
You're talking like he hasn't played. He has played.
But he played.
He has played.
There's no way Norgard can't
We're
be good
saying
enough.
We're saying Norgard.
Wait, are you telling me you've not seen Norgard play at all this season? Have you seen Norgard play this season?
I have, thank you. And when he has played, he's been
then.
cold. He's been cold.
But there's obviously...
Has he been dead, though? No, answer me. Has he been dead when he's played for Arsenal?
No, I have not seen a problem with Norgard. But obviously, I'm telling you, but this is what I'm trying to say. You lot are talking... Wait. You lot are talking like this is my opinion. I'm not. I'm talking from the club's perspective. There must be something that they're not seeing, because we see players and we think, oh, my man's tidy, or my man's sick, or my man's this year. That's my opinion. I don't see a problem with Norgard. But obviously, you man are not thinking, like, you're not using your football management brain. There's something that Arteta and his coaches are seeing why they don't want to play Norgard. It has to be.
You know why it's mad. You know why it's mad for you to land like that, yeah. And I tell you exactly why it's mad for you. I'm
gonna land it clean. Look how I leaned back when I landed it. Look,
bro. Go on. Let me tell you why it's mad that you landed that argument. Yeah, it's mad because, brother. And let me sit back for this. Yeah, let me sit back for this. This is why it's mad that you landed that. Yeah, because you've landed that in a team who are playing Noni Madueke. Now, brother, with the greatest of respects, yeah, you cannot tell me that this Premier League captain is not good enough. But this brother that we signed for 50 odd million, yeah, he runs off the pitch, bro. He runs beyond the lines. You're telling me this guy is good enough to be starting, yeah? But this guy here, who plays defensive midfield, is not good enough. No way. I'm not having it.
I hear it. No,
you know how you had Doug, yeah? It's because I've never heard Doug's voice going like high. Because I hear it.
No. I'm actually listen. He ain't got me. I'm just being sarcastic to a slight degree. Yeah, what I'm saying is I hear what man's saying, but this is where we're not understanding. I'm not saying I don't agree with what you men are saying. I agree.
Yeah,
I didn't see a problem with Norgard, and I felt that maybe if they played Norgard more throughout the season, he might have grew into the team because he is tidy. In certain cases, I remember when I see him playing the FA Cup, I thought he was decent. I don't know, at the time, me and you guys might have seen each other and spoke about it earlier on in the season or whatever. Like, I think we went out somewhere and we spoke about it. I think Norgard's tidy, but I'm just coming from a perspective that with the coaches and Arteta and something, there must be something going on behind the scenes that they've seen, or something's going on with Norgard as to why they're not using him. There must be. That's the only way that it can be explained, and that's the way that we got to look at it. He could have family issues. He could have something going on where they just can't use him this season, and they've not come out and said what it is. But there's clearly something going on.
And I get that you're doing devil's advocacy, so that's calm, like, because I know you're saying that you're speaking. No, like I'm not even taking a piss. You said that you're speaking. But
I always feel like it's those guys. In the arguments that we've had, I've always come from a club perspective as well, because I can have my opinion on stuff and I can say my opinion, but my opinion doesn't make me right. Like, remember, it's like we're Arsenal fans. I
hear what you're saying, but then, and that's what I'm saying. I respect that you're coming from that angle, but what I don't want to lose sight of is that it doesn't mean that because you're coming from that angle and you're looking at it from a potential club perspective, it's still an opinion. And it doesn't mean that the point that I've made and Zest is making isn't also legible, because you'll know as well. I know you haven't said that, but I'm just making the point that the point still stands. You get what I mean? Because look, taking away all of our personal opinions, because in my personal opinion, I didn't think we should have signed Norgard in the first place. I didn't think it was going to elevate our midfield. So to see him not used, all it does is kind of just it kind of makes me stronger in that initial opinion. However, when I've actually seen the guy play for Arsenal, I'm like, oh, actually, he can do a job. Actually, this guy can actually save some minutes in the legs of our Declan Rice or our Zubimendi. Now, I'm not saying that everything that you've put forward for us to think about might not be true. Like, it might be, but when we're when we're talking about the overuse of players in the Premier League, and maybe we could do little things about it to just help our case out. When we say, well, Arteta probably could rotate a little better, and you like you give a hard pushback to say, no, I disagree, we're going to bring up like anecdotal evidence to show you that, no, actually, here is evidence, visual evidence of where he hasn't done it. And Norgard is a prime one. And yeah, we can go in the back and forth and do the advocacy, but it's still a prime example. Whether the reason is it's not good enough or something's happening, what have you not? Let's give us prime example.
But that one example doesn't cover a 30-man squad where you can pick out one player. Like if you used to pick out, say, like there's loads of players that haven't played, or 4, 5, 6 players that haven't played.
All right, let's use another then. Let's use another.
Like Miles Lewis Skelly hasn't played as much, but he's
just before you change player. The only reason I'm more focused on Norgard, is because it's had a knock-on effect onto Zubimendi, and there was many a games that I believe Zubimendi should have either got hooked or he shouldn't have even played. That Norgard should have been the straight sub, and that's been more my issue. So even when after, like I said prior, the Man United game, Zubimendi had a terrible day. And the following games after the Man United games, he was having a terrible time. If we go back to the start of the season, Zubimendi was progressing forward, he was scoring, passing, breaking the lines, and after the Man United game, he faltered. Do you know what I mean? So either he should have been dragged off, 2 games out, whatever, Norgard comes straight in, because that's what I thought the point is with Norgard. Do you know what I mean?
And you can say the same for Timber as well, Zest, because Timber, we don't know where my man is. But bare times he could have been rotated. We've seen Mascara capable of playing there. We've seen White. Yeah, but Ben White, there was times when Ben White looked decent at the beginning of the earlier part of the season. At the moment, he's looking a little bit labored. I can see why you kept playing Timber. I can actually see why you kept playing Timber. Yeah. But there are games again where Ben White or Mascara could have given Timber a little bit of rest, and maybe we're playing Timber in this crunch time of the season. So that's another example of when rotation hasn't been utilized. And even when we're talking about Madueke and whatnot, I still think the young boys should be played a little bit more, I mean, Max Darman and whatnot, because now we're saving Saka and we're playing Madueke, playing Madueke. We still got rotation there, like in a Darman that we could probably be using. Are we going to say he's not good enough? The most we can say is he's young, but we know he's good enough. You get what I mean? So I'm like, I'm not saying Mikel Arteta is like he's not done. Like I said, I've been very complimentary of him. I said it in the last Loose Cannons live we did. I've been very complimentary of Mikel Arteta this season, but there are things that he does that I have to still hold him accountable for. Where I'm seeing lapses in our season at the same periods where I can still point to the man and say, brother, you ain't learned everything yet. You ain't learned your lesson, everything yet. So when you're like pushing back proper, Doug, and you're like, no, the rotation's been on point. I've got to be like, okay, I can see your argument as to why you think that, because of the amount of times we've changed our defense.
No, I never said it's been on point, but I didn't see the fact. The thing is, you man made the point of saying that he's run what Zest said was that he's overplayed players this season. Yeah, he went with the same 11. I made the point that he's not had the same 11. I don't think no more than 2 games. I hear you. Played, so there's not been no really over rinsing of the same 11 like he did a couple seasons ago.
But yes, he's played players
more, but then the thing is, he's played players more, but due to injuries means that when you unbalance the team because you've had to bring someone in and start someone that you wouldn't normally start, you don't then go and unbalance the team more by taking someone out of the team that you want to rest in order to bring someone else in when there's already players that you've had to bring in that you didn't want to bring in. Like if you've got a full steady, healthy squad, or week in, week out, and your squad is healthy, then you could take 1 or 2 players out that squad, knowing you've got the first 11 there that you can bring in a fresh 2 players to rest 2 players. But when you've already lost 2 players, when you've already lost 2 players to injury, and then you've got another player that's playing that shouldn't really be playing or starting, then you have to bring in another player to rest another player. Then your left back's gone, so you got to bring in another left back. But then you really wanted to rest Martinelli, but you got to bring him That's
the whole point of squad building, though.
That's
the whole point of squad building.
That's how it's been, though. So you can't unbalance a team more just to bring a player in.
No, but Doug, that's the whole point of squad building in the summer. When you build your team, when you're buying your players for depth.
We went into the summer. We went into the start of the season saying we had the best squad depth, which got tested this season again. Which I think had we not bought the squad depth that we bought, we'd have probably been in a worse position right now.
I need you to pick a lane because now
Well, you're kind of going back
I
in the
don't need to
argument.
pick a
Yeah.
lane. I'm
Yeah,
not.
I mean, I
don't
need you
need
to.
pick
I
a
need.
lane.
You're going
I
back in the
don't need to
argument.
pick a lane. I'm just expressing the point of where you're saying that maybe more players could have got rotated, but then at the same time, a first 11, we wasn't able to fill the first 11 3 times in a row this season at all at any point. Yeah. Players, so if you lost Timber and you bring in Ben White, the next thing you don't want to do is bring in Madueke for
Why don't I
Saka
want to
and
do
rest
that?
Saka because you're having to bring in Ben White who hasn't
But
played.
why don't I want to do that?
Yeah, but Doug, you're looking like this.
Because obviously, when you're, whenever, like you said, like you guys said, yeah, that when the pressure's high, yeah, which it is, in order for Arsenal to win things, yeah, and you haven't got the luxury of just rotating your team like that.
But the luxury,
when you've got players out,
wait,
like remember the point I made, yeah. Before everyone runs away with things, yeah. Remember the point I made. You lot said injuries. That's what you said, Zest, yeah. Players got rotated out of the team because of injuries. Yeah.
No, you said. No, hold on.
I said
you
yeah,
said
but yeah,
there was rotation, and I said there was only rotation due to injury.
All right, but then
That's
how many times was all right then? So due to injuries, due to injuries meant we couldn't field, the first same 11 for no more than 2 games in a season. Yeah, in the 2 games. Yeah, so that shows you the amount of injuries and the amount of times we probably had to rotate already because we couldn't even field the same 11 twice at any point this season so far after playing nearly 60 something games. Yeah,
you know why I'm not hearing that though, D?
The reason why it doesn't make sense, Doug, is because hold on. You've just said, prime example, and I'll go by the words you said. You said, let's say for instance, Timber gets injured, yeah. So Timber gets injured. What I now don't want to do is really I wanted to rest Saka, but now
I'm saying, listen. I understand the point I'm trying to make, right? Let's say in a game. Wait, let's say Timber got injured, and your next game is against Fulham, yeah. But Timber's got injured. But in the Fulham game, you might have took, like, let's say you got the Atletico Madrid game. So Timber got injured. You got to put Ben White in, but you might have took Saka out and played Madueke. But now you unbalance fully your right hand side because they've not played together. Yeah, remember that, right? So then you fully unbalance your right-hand side, bringing in Madueke, who's not been playing, and then now you have to bring in a replacement in Ben White. Yeah, in games that are important where you need 3 points and you can't afford to drop points. Yeah, so every time you rotate your team and you play your second 11, right, in the Premier League, you risk the chance of dropping points. Yeah, because they've not been playing. Yeah,
that's what you're doing at the same time, Dougie. You're now running Saka into the ground. Because you're now not using it.
I guarantee you, if you used to ring Saka, if you used to ring these players, and that's another thing Arteta said in one of his press conferences, right? Every player wants to play every minute of the game. If you ask any player, they want to play them. So even if he wanted to say, oh, you know what, we're bringing you out and dragging you out, it's the same thing when man talked to Cole. Cole wants to play. He wants to play with a fucking...
That's why you're paid.
That's what they want to do,
Thank you.
So you're paid 15 million a year because regardless of if man wants to play, you make the decision, bro.
And the clock stops you.
He has taken players out and rotated players at times. And
you know what? Yeah, before we had the best squad by many people's estimations, whereby our first team could compete. Many people even said our second team would probably still finish in the top 3 of the Premier League. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had one of the best squads in terms of squad rotation, in terms of squad depth. That's why I'm struggling to hear the argument, because ultimately you get like a whole week, sometimes depending on the way the fixtures land, maybe not for us because we're in every competition, but you get at least a week to train, 3 to 4 days to train. If you know, all right, cool, I'm giving X, Y, and Z a rest, this one's going to have to play in. You've got a week, 3-4 days to work on your set plays, to work on your strategy with these players. These are professional football players, and we've signed players of a particular level. The scouting has been done at a particular level. These players operate at a particular level. We didn't just go and get Joe Bloggs from Tranmere Rovers or whatnot. We took a Premier League captain from Brentford. You get what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? So and the level of our squad, even Madueke, guys who we don't rate, he was still one of Chelsea's better wingers. You get what I'm saying? To the point where it split some of the fan base. Like, wow, well, you know what? Level. He is, you know, he's off a particular level. So if you are having to rotate by injury, like yourself and Doug saying, that is a good point, and that does kind of set you back. But you still got a player that's now entering the red zone because he's mad tired or what have you not. Do I now play that player into that red zone and I might now lose him to injury because somebody else has been lost to injury?
Yeah.
Or do I trust the squad that I built, trust the squad that I purchased, trust the squad that when I registered my 25 man or whatever the number is, before a ball was kicked, I said this was going to win me the league and this was going to compete with all the competitions. Am I now not going to trust these man and say, all right, you know what, Saka, you're going to chill this time, yeah? Madueke, you're going to play. Or Dalman, you're going to play. Ben White, you're going to play. Timber, you're not playing. So Ben White and Madueke, I'm going to trust you, man, as professionals playing at the top level to still keep us at a standard whereby we can still get the 3 points. Maybe against the Sunderland, maybe against the Leeds, maybe against the Aston Villa, maybe against the Fulham, maybe against
you can't rock up to
Brighton
and do that.
Oh, right. And I'm not. I get you. But then brother, I get what you're saying.
This season.
But the Premier League is of a high level, and I get you, Doug. But what I'm trying to also say is,
you don't get.
I do get you, but I don't think you're getting me.
I hear you, but I don't agree with you because I feel like
is at a high level as well, or is it not?
Without real context and that real knowledge of where games
is our squad at a high level.
We can all sit here, and go, Arteta didn't rotate the squad enough.
No, but is our squad at a high level?
You're not saying, you only had to rotate it due to injury, right? Or you lot haven't seen enough rotation.
Can you just answer that question before you go off on your
delve into the games and actually look at the games step by step where players have been bought out, rotated, done with, you would have seen. I never really saw.
There's no point in this conversation because you don't want to answer questions. You just want to say what you want to say. I've asked you: is our squad at a high level? Was our squad at a high level? Was our squad at a high level, and was it at a high level before a ball was kicked?
What, at the start of the season?
Yes, at the start of the season.
Were you happy? The squad? I feel like we should have had. We need better attackers though. 100%. Martinelli, Trossard, bro. Even Saka, it hasn't stepped up this season.
So if you agree that our squad was at a high level,
midfield,
we could have had a better attacker.
Obviously we had Mika Moreno. He's been out the whole season.
Not the whole season. Only since
he's been out, bro. He's been out
since Jan or Feb.
He's been out since.
He's been out for a considerable amount of time.
Come on, man.
Forgetting the injuries.
On top of that, listen. On top of that, this is what I'm trying to say to you, man. So with Mika Moreno out, and limited numbers in choices in terms of midfielders, and then choose to still not play Norgard, right? Something's going on there. And if you, man, can't see that, and you man are going to be negligent to that and not even understand that, then what can I say to you? What can I say to you? What can I say to you? With the bare minimum, with Declan Rice running every step of the games that we've played, and they still don't want to throw Norgard in there and have him sitting on the bench to make my man rest, there must be something going on in there.
So what is the something? Is it Norgard?
You're not buying it. I never said it. Listen, all I said was there's something. So what are you telling me it is then?
I'll tell you why I'm not buying it. I'll tell you why I'm not buying it. I'll tell you why it's the gaffer.
No, tell me where it is.
Mikel Arteta.
The reason why it is the gaffer is because, like I said to you earlier, before you buy a player, you break everything down. You know exactly what's going on. You cannot tell me that him driving across London, from West London to North London, he's not capable of filling.
So what's the problem? Tell me what the problem is that he has with him then.
The problem is just Arteta not believing in him. That's it. He's done it with many players.
So if he doesn't believe in the player, hasn't the player not done enough to give him that belief then?
So why didn't you not believe in him when he was still at Brentford? What made you believe in him when he was over there?
This is what I'm trying to say, man.
The only thing Arteta does
this is what I'm trying to say. So this is the thing, right? Wait. Let me learn. So this is what I'm trying to say. This is why it's difficult because you lot are only seeing it one-sided. So you're seeing it that why would you bring a player like other players haven't been bought throughout the world and transferred over to teams and they've not been good enough? And you lot don't want to accept the fact that Norgard clearly in their eyes isn't good enough.
All right, Dougie, let me ask you this, Let me ask you this.
Because you lot are saying, Arteta's got a problem with Norgard,
How many players from the same league, that have played Premier League football for over 3 years have switched teams?
So tell me this, tell me this,
You see, when we signed Marquinhos, no one said nothing. When we signed Marquinhos and he didn't play, no one said anything because you see what you're saying there, Doug? That's probably legible. Like he's probably not showing us enough.
You get what I'm saying?
We don't know nothing about it. But you see the reason why like Zest and I are pushing back a little bit more on this one is because all three of us have seen this spreader kick ball. not just for Brentford, but even for Arsenal. So surely you can see it's a little bit different.
But this is the thing. This is why you lot are losing. This is why you lot are losing me in this argument. Yeah, because you're not trying to take on what I'm saying, because you're pushing the narrative that it's obviously Arteta's issue. I'm not denying whatever like you lot. I said this from the start of it. I agree with you, but what you're not understanding clearly, if I'm a manager, right, or I'm a manager of a club, or manager of a business, and there's something that my employee is doing that doesn't warrant promotion, doesn't want playing, doesn't warrant something, it ain't then my fault, is it? This is what you're not trying to understand. So what the point I'm trying to make here, if we all can see that there's something within Norgard why he's decent, we all said it. I've said he's decent, but there's clearly something going on behind the scenes. Because remember, this is another thing, right, that people forget as well now. And I had this argument. Man, them argue with me about Arsenal, or argue with about the manager, when you remember they lived that life, you know. It's like I live the life of SE Dons, innit? That's my secondary team. SE Dons is my thing. So anything going on in SE Dons, I live it, breathe it, feel it more than anyone else that can tell me that is outside the club, that maybe are a fan of the club, but not inside the club like I'm inside the club. Yeah. So remember, we can have an opinion as fans and be like, oh, we live this and that. But imagine what it's like if you're a player, employee, worker in the actual club, innit? They're feeling it, trust me, just as hard as we're feeling it, if not harder, because they're living it. We live outside of it. We're not getting paid by Arsenal. We're just fans, innit? So Mikel Arteta has to go to sleep with the realization that he needs this team to win. Yeah, more than we do. More than we think that any of us think we love Arsenal and this, that he's employed by them. It's his job. They're the ones, he has to make that shit work, innit? So what I'm trying to say is, Norgard clearly, as an employee, something is going on, why they're not choosing to play him. Because it's not just, everyone says, yes, the final decision sits with Arteta, but there are coaches, there are other people within the club that are advisory, sit there, talk with him, they analyze footage. It's not just one man in the office with a piece of paper saying, oh, Norgard ain't going to play today. They're looking at, now football's technical. They got videos watching how a man play. They got games within a game. They got ways that you got to break out into triangles and play this and play the game within a game in this side of the park. And when the ball goes this side, this is how we need you to set up. And when it goes that side, it could be simply to the fact that Norgard can't pick up that high level information and read the game. They want the way that they want him to read it, the same way that. So basically, the point I'm trying to make is, just to end it, is that I hear what you man are saying, but I think the fact that he ain't playing is that there's something that is deeper than what we know as to why they don't want to play him.
So you don't think it can't be like Arteta's not favouring him like Zest.
But even if he's out of favour with Arteta, put it this way, Arteta's bought him, right? So Arteta would want no more than anyone else for him to be successful because he bought him in. So unless there's some reason as to why, you don't just wait, hear this here. You're not just going to bring a player in.
I'm not attacking you,
but hear what I'm saying, because I'm talking, but you're not triggering, man, or anything. So
okay,
don't think I'm bothered at anything. I'm not. I'm just because it's what's more frustrating is that you lot cannot fathom what I'm trying to say to you. Like, I'm actually agreeing with you in terms of I'm actually trying to agree with you about Norgard.
I'm trying to agree with you as well.
The fact that you lot want, like, Strives wants it to be Arteta's problem, but
no, don't do that.
Arteta,
don't do that.
Let's say
I hear it.
Let's say Arteta don't like him. Then what has he done to Arteta not to like him?
I hear it.
Where is he just going to buy a player and just buy him just to not like him?
I'm hearing your point.
That he liked about him, why he told them to go and get him. But there's obviously, after getting him and you're seeing him week in, week out on the training pitch, you're probably thinking, wait, my man's not it.
Well, then you have to also hear
Zest's point. Can't do nothing. He bought him.
Zest's point is
you know another thing I said as well. When them lot got kicked out of the FA Cup, when them lot got kicked out of the Carabao Cup, this is another, not the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup. I said it to my boy, when them lot got kicked out by Southampton, I said, all them man that played in that game, I doubt they'll kick another ball for Arsenal this season.
Most of them have played again.
I still blame the gaffer.
Not most of them ain't. Kepa ain't played again. Norgard ain't played again. There's a lot of them that ain't played again. Come on, man.
I haven't played. Madueke's played.
I still blame the gaffer.
Yeah, but he probably rates him.
Let me tell you why I still blame the gaffer, You bought this guy pre-season. yeah, you've decided between pre-season and up until December that he's not good enough. You're not going to play him. Yeah. Now you've brought this guy in. Norgard's sole job is to be cover for Zubimendi and Declan Rice. You would agree, yeah? That's fair. So if by December you've decided, because you would know straight away, yeah, if we're going off of Arteta and Doug's thinking power, you would know straight away that this guy's not good enough. So why on earth has January come and January passed and you have not found a suit?
Come on, man. This is another big argument that we can all talk about.
I
hear it. I hear it. But then listen, it's the same reason. It's the same reason that we got to January. Wait, but I hear it. Don't get me wrong. I hear what Zest is saying, because this is the argument and the thing that frustrates me the most.
So you have to
January, we was top of the league and we didn't go and get Semenyo. I've already argued this with you, Strabs. We've not argued about it, but I've already made it clear that I was fully frustrated that so forget even going and getting a replacement for my man in January. I'm more frustrated that we never went and got fucking Gay and never went and got Semenyo in January.
When do we stop clear?
So that's a whole different argument.
Yeah, no, I hear you, Doug. Yeah, but you know what it is, yeah, and we can move it on if you want to afterwards, yeah. But I'm just like, you see where we're having this conversation, and it's an interesting one, yeah. You see that where you're you've made the point.
You don't want to lose viewers because we're just arguing.
Yeah. But what Zest is saying, like, to kind of like he's jumped on your point and he's like, all right, you know what? You might be right, Doug. Yeah. So let's say he's not showing up in training, he's not doing all this stuff, and you know what I mean? And that means you're both kind of right. So that means Arteta's lost belief in him, as Zest is saying, but you're saying he's lost belief in him for a reason, because he's probably not doing, there's something happening behind the scenes. The coach is he's not hitting the markers, yeah.
He's not keeping his KPIs, mate.
He's not, it's not hitting his, exactly. He's not hitting his
but this is the thing.
So then Zest is asking, all right, well, you've then had an opportunity to replace him in Jan. And then you're like, nah, I'm not hearing that.
I never said I'm not hearing that. What I said was that's a whole different argument. I never said I'm not hearing that. I said because, the reason why I said I didn't want to go there with it, and it's a whole different argument, is because my belief is it's not even about replacing him. I felt like we should have strengthened in January anyway, being top of the league. So forget even the DM position, and if you didn't believe in my man going and getting another DM, I strongly believe that part of the reason why we are where we are in the title race right now is that in January, even being ahead in the league and whatever, that we didn't just go and get what we needed to get to push us over the line securely. So that's why I'm saying I'm not trying to hear the whole just this one player, because I felt like we should have went and got a winger. I felt like we should have maybe even gone and brought in another attacker or two, and maybe even brought in another midfielder. So that's my argument anyway. So I believe that it ain't even just about the Norgard situation. I felt like we should have brought in players anyway in January. And part of my frustration and part of the reason why we are where we are now in terms of City catching us is because we didn't strengthen. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's a mistake that we've made pretty much every season so far in not strengthening in January. So
who does the buck?
So then who does the buck stop with on that point?
That's what I was just gonna ask.
Yeah, probably is the manager and the board. Clearly.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, but then, like I said, me and Strax had the same argument outside the restaurant last season when I said,
but you won't let it go there.
No, but this is what I'm saying. I don't know any manager that wouldn't want more players, bro. So clearly, the board, might be like, we're not spending.
But it's not his fault.
I'm not saying it's not his fault, but what I'm trying to say is, I think everyone wants to be quick to jump on Arteta and blame Arteta for everything that goes wrong, but then not try to take in the factors that come with football clubs and running a club and what the board might say and what people might say and all these other discussions and meetings and things that go on, because a football club isn't just as black as white as a Sunday league team where you turn up on a Sunday, kick a ball, and someone makes a decision. So as a manager, Arteta, if there's money to be spent and you could bring a player in January, I don't see why any manager wouldn't want to.
As much as I
you get what I mean? Because I swear, didn't Arteta say he need in one of the pre January transfer windows, he was in press conferences talking about he needs help, or he wouldn't. So he already learned to the fact that he wanted players, but they didn't go and buy no one for him. So let's just have it right. I would like to believe that every manager, if you could strengthen your team in January and get a mad player in that's going to help you crack on and win the league, what manager in his right mind wouldn't want that? Listen to what you man are saying and what you man are thinking.
50 million a year. I need more than who's not wanting or
Yeah, but then if you don't write the checks, what can you do? If you might want a new desk at work, yeah, you might want new equipment at work. But if your manager ain't gonna sign off on it, what can you do, bro?
Bro, I hear that.
Well,
but
I might
50 million,
want
I'll
new
make a
equipment
desk.
at work, yeah. I might want new shit at work, and then I ring my manager and say, "Listen, this is what I need," and they're like, "Nah, mate, you're gonna have to make do till the new tax year." What can I do? Like, this is the point I'm trying to make. I'm not saying that it's not Arteta, but brothers, stop thinking so one-dimensional when you look think about these things.
But that's the only way you can think of
yeah, but it is one-dimensional because everyone just wants to land it at Arteta's door. And I blame Arteta for things when I clearly think like there has been squad selection that I think, bro, what was that? There has been things where I get onto Arteta about it, but I'm not one of them man that just jump at the manager straight away for everything.
But it has to be one dimensional.
It's the way of football, though.
You can't
that's why Chelsea's fired so many people.
The reason why it has to be one dimensional, Dougie, yeah, is because any manager issues, the buck has to stop with him. You see, if the window comes along and we don't sign no one, now the buck has to stop with Berta, because Berta's the guy that we give the ratings to for signing so many players.
But Berta was there in January, so what are we talking about?
Yeah, so I'm saying it's the same situation. Do you know what I mean?
I'm trying to say.
It can be that.
The last transfer window where we didn't buy no one, and me and Strauss was having the conversation, was the time when they got rid of Edu and they had that new guy in, and all of this foolishness was going on during the transfer window. We didn't bring anybody in, so there was no one really to be held responsible for that. Accountable. But this transfer window, so why is no one angry with Berta then? If nothing got done in this January transfer window, why ain't no one talking Berta's name? Because you both mentioned Arteta's.
Berta will have blood on his hands if we don't win a trophy.
That's what I'm trying to say, though. So you can't think one-dimensional because there's more than one person.
That's the thing. You're assuming
all right, then. So that's the point I was trying to make.
We were just bringing a different argument to you. That's all we was doing.
Listen, don't try and backtrack and shuffle like this.
What we were doing, bro.
Don't try and backtrack and shuffle like this, man. Listen, you lot know what you're doing, and this is why me and Strauss didn't argue.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you've been trying to put it on me.
He tries to push buttons. I
didn't even do anything
this time. No, don't give him the Gokaris one. You got to give him the Dybala one. He tried to give him some Dybala shit. You get what I'm saying?
I can't believe you're trying to. What? No. Why am I getting cussed?
Don't worry, Doug. I do know what Strauss does. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, come on, man. He's always on the wind up. And then what his thing is, he'll wind me up and then let me go with it for a good half an hour. Then be like, "Oh, you done yet?" Because this is what I'm saying. So let me get back to the points. Answer my question, yes or no.
Usually,
with Strauss, I don't want to answer your fucking
Arteta. Usually it's him against Arteta. That's where it is.
Yeah, it's always. This is where we clash with Arteta because he calls me an Arteta sexual. I don't know where the fuck he got that from. But this is what he calls me because I am not an Arteta outer in it like these men are, and this is what he wants to challenge me on all the time. He wants me to always bring it back to the manager.
The problem with them, man, is when trophies lift, they are at the front of the line. Mm-hmm. They're at the front of the queue. Oh my god.
No, when trophies lift, they're the first in the group chat.
You see how you're like, you're not an Arteta outer from what I know of you, yeah? I would say that you're definitely not, Doug. And either Zest. You see, like, the names that you're saying that I've called you, I've definitely called Zest the same names, yeah? To the point, yeah. But however, I get it, yeah? But you see what Zest was able to do just then, yeah? He was able to compartmentalize the fact that he wants Arteta in there, but he was able to make a case where he can criticize him, and that's all I tried to do. Because you see me, you lot will think that I hate the scaffer, but I actually don't mind this fella. But because you lot put me in a position where it looks like I hate the guy. Like even now, I wasn't even in that argument like that. I was just supporting Zest beef, and Doug's cussing me. He's cussing how tight my do hang is, and I wasn't. I didn't even start the beef, bro.
Yeah, no, you started. Big up JVR in the chat, man, and Twitch, man. These men started bare drama, but yeah. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Big games coming up. Coming up. We touched on it a piece earlier. What are you, man, saying for the Fulham game on the weekend? Do you want Arteta to rotate the squad? Do you man want Arteta to rotate the squad for the Fulham game?
I want to see
How
Saka.
do you think we're gonna get on against Fulham?
I think for me personally, I would like to see. I take into consideration your point about Saka starting in the Champions League. I would like to see him start on Saturday just to get some more minutes sort of under his belt. Because when Saka plays, like he just brings a different guile to the team. I've said this before, like he sort of comes on and he just lifts the team. Like even you know them players that you even if they're suspended for a game, they gotta be at the game. Like you hear like, oh yeah, John Terry was talking in the dressing room and blah blah blah. Saka's actually got that with the team, so I would like to see him start so we can start something from the jump. Same thing I said about Newcastle on Saturday. I just feel like we need goals early to just calm things down at the Emirates. Like the Emirates is so touchy right now. You see, after 20 minutes, if it's 0-0, the nervousness kicks in, then it radiates to the pitch. It's all over the place. Like I just want to see Saka starting. I'd like to see Eze and Odegaard start. Definitely. And yeah, just kill the game off early, man, and just don't allow no pressure to creep in, because this 1-0 thing, I was saying to Strides before, earlier on in the season, it was cool because we could score a goal and we could say to the opposition, mate, do whatever you want because our defense is impenetrable. You're not getting through it. There was a stage where we wasn't even conceding shots. Now, for the Newcastle game, remember, we scored in the first 10 minutes. We done like 80 minutes straight of just being on it.
Yeah.
You
know what I mean? At the Emirates. Yeah, bro. Like, if it was anyone else, that's in the back of the net.
Yeah.
It's only because Wiss's dead food.
And you know what? I'll be honest, if Wiss had scored that, I don't think we would have scored.
I don't, bro. You don't even need to think. We weren't scoring enough. We wasn't, bro. We weren't scoring enough.
And that Gokares pass at the end as well. God.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Man.
Like, bro. Like that, bro. It's funny because that Gokares pass. When I mentioned it in one of my groups, I was like, "Are we going to talk about this?" Man was like, "Yo, let's revisit this on Tuesday."
That pass was
He made up for it with his pass today, though, to Odegaard.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's what I'd like to see, Dougie. I'd like to see us kill off a game early, relieve some pressure on us, and just put all the pressure on City. But I say all of that to say this: as long as 3 points is on the board at full time, do whatever you got to do, man.
Yeah.
I think what I would like to see, to answer your question, Doug, I'd like to see I'd like to see a little bit of on rotation. I think Calafiore, I've seen him named on the bench a couple of times now, so I'd like to maybe see him maybe get a couple of minutes just to give Hincapié a little bit of a rest, because he put in a really, really good shift tonight still, or should I say yesterday.
He's impressing me, Hincapié.
Yeah, man. Bro, him and Declan Rice, bro, they were like probably players of the game for me, bro.
They're running their legs off. And Hincapié, I think we should definitely make that a permanent deal next year.
I think it's a given.
I think that's inevitable. Can I just say one point on Hincapié? Yeah, do you see the difference between a man that's done it? There's no pressure in his game. He just plays his game. The only other person who looks like that is actually Eze. When he comes on, no pressure in his game. He just plays. Bro, Saliba and Gabby, who have been our rocks all year, bro, them man even looking a bit shaky. Gabby,
they've been looking shaky for a minute. I feel like the sporting game has brought them back a little touch. You get me?
Crazy, isn't it?
Even though they went and lost it in the Bournemouth game, but I don't think Mendy helped in that game. But they kind of starting to get a little bit back, but they've been shaky. I would agree.
I just feel like it's pressure, and then when you see a player like Hincapié, there's just no pressure in his game.
I disagree a little bit with the Saliba thing. I think Saliba is he's like an unspoken gem now this season.
But he's given the ball away a couple of times. He made some sloppy passes, man. He's made some sloppy passes. Like he's got a little sloppy pass in him. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know what it is? What with Saliba, he likes to try and find like the line breaking passes, and I think they're tough. They're tough to pull off all the time, but more time like there's a calmness and a composure about his game that just kind of goes understated because we're normally looking at what Gabriel is doing. You get what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm not saying that he hasn't like given away sloppy passes here and there, but I do think Saliba has gone under the radar a lot, and I think it would be harsh to say that he's been a bit shaky, just in my opinion, But back to the game on Saturday, I think Calafiore, I'd probably introduce him back into the team. I think I'd give Ben White a rest, put Mosquera on the right, and then I would probably give Saka the start, but I wouldn't let him play the whole game, but I'd give him the start. Let him get an hour under his belt, and then bring maybe Madueke on, or maybe Darwin. I'd like to see Darwin again. I think against a team like Fulham, I'd like to see Darwin personally.
I mean, it's a great game for Darwin.
Yeah. In terms of up top, you know what? Yeah, Jesus. I'm not always like the biggest fan of him because of like he seems like.
Tell me you're gonna say Jesus to start, bro.
You know what though? You know why I wouldn't? I was gonna say, you know why though? Let me land here, just please. Yeah, because you see when he came on, Eze came on, and Saka came on. You notice that the control started to shift back into our favor a little bit.
Yeah,
and it was purely, no, you know what it was? It's because that they tend to like drive with the ball a bit more, take players on a little bit more. They're not always successful, but in terms of the completed dribbles in the game, I'm sure the stats will attest to it that they probably had the most completed dribbles in the game, despite not being on the pitch for as long, because they're comfortable with the ball at their feet and they like to drive us forward. And it just sometimes those seconds of rest they do wonders for the team, so to speak. So that's the only reason why I would flirt with the idea of maybe playing a Jesus and then maybe bringing Gyökeres on.
Maybe, you never know, because I think Fulham is a threat, but they're not as mad as you could maybe chance starting Jesus in that game. Give Gyökeres a little rest and let him come on. And
you know what? Because I'm thinking on the
big up Biz Cartel as well, man.
Big you up, Biz. I'm just thinking on the wavelength of trying to go for both still. You get what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So that's the only reason why I'm entertaining the idea
of rotation.
Yeah, and the rotation I'm talking about isn't hazardous. I'm talking about Calafiore, who was one of our best left backs at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Saka, who is our best player. You get what I'm saying?
I think he will slightly rotate. Like, it's like even at this game, and this is what we say about rotation. Even in this game, I thought he might have started Saka. Like, he's played Saka on the weekend. I thought he might have started him for this game. I was surprised to see Martinelli start. So, who's to know? Like, I think we got another. What we got? 6 games left, 7 games.
Yeah,
you count the final if you make it there.
7.
Do you know? Yeah, 6 games or 7. So we just got to see what happens, man. I think I think we can get the 3 points at Fulham. I think Fulham are coming to us, innit? We're playing at home, innit?
Yeah.
Man. Come on, man. I think
Fulham home, West Ham away.
Yeah,
and even the West Ham away game is still in London as well, man. So not that much traveling.
Yeah, not much traveling.
Yeah, all our games are London now.
Yeah,
minus the Champions League, obviously. All our games are.
Bro, I still think everything is ours, man. I still think we're gonna win the league. I still think it's all there. I just think it's just gonna be difficult. It's never gonna be easy. First Premier League in 20 years was never gonna just be a walk in the park, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? So
unless it's COVID and you're Liverpool.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying, or you come up against an Arsenal team that's riddled with injuries and they're able to walk it. You know what I'm saying, like.
Guys, let me ask you a quick question here.
Yeah.
Leandro Trossard, what's happened? Because I'm not understanding.
He does this every season, man.
I'm not understanding.
I don't know.
He done this last season, done it the season before. He starts off strong, makes Arteta grow to trust him and want him to be around, then he just falls the fuck off, bro.
Guys, no goals in 2026. Is he all right?
It's getting dark still. But you know what? Where he's contributed and scored some big goals this campaign, it's like I still have a little bit of grace for him. I'm just get me a couple of goals in the business end of the season.
His story's not done, innit? Like his story's not done. He's still got the Premier League and the Champions League to.
But I see what Zest is saying though, because
he's gone in the summer, bro.
He might go quiet and he'll just pop up with a banger that you have to say, yeah, that's what he's on. But even now, even his gameplay is mad. Today he was just messy.
He's so messy. Did you see when he come on and gave the ball away straight away?
Straight away. Oh my day. Straight
Doing all
away,
that dribbling
bro.
and turning, lost it.
Bro,
Like,
the man
and
just
that's the
came
thing.
on, and I'm in the group like, get him off.
Yeah,
Get him off,
and
get
the thing
him
is, man wasn't trying to understand the pace of the game because when at that time, like they were pressing us like crazy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And he just wasn't up to speed with it. So yeah, man. Bismarck said Trossard all 2026 has been shocking. He needs to get game time because he's Arteta's friend. He's been banned for too long. Yeah, he's been terrible. I think he's gone in the summer. This summer he's gone, man. I think him and Martinelli are gone. I think it would be dope for us to win it this year. And when we win it this year, because a lot of the players that are gonna go as Premier League champions. Do you get what I mean? Like,
I agree. Still,
you know what I mean? Like leave
I hear it. Like,
high. You get me? Like,
and we'll get good P for them as well.
Yeah, good piece for them. Plus, it'll be. I reckon we'll do a madness in the transfer window if we can get good money for these players.
I'm not convinced Martinelli though. You know,
I'd keep Martinelli, but bro, he's like a deer in headlights.
No, I mean, I'm not convinced that it will go.
That's what I'm saying. They could. I don't mind keeping Martinelli, but I feel like you need to go and get a madman to stay. Like I'm at the point. Like one thing I learned, and I said this earlier, the game that I watched yesterday is that one thing I've learned is that we need an attack like what Bayern Munich and PSG have. Even if you look at Barcelona's attack with Rafinha, Lewandowski, and Lamine Yamal, you look at even City, with Semenyo, Doku, Shirky, and Haaland. Like we ain't got that. Like you look at our attack, that's why we're struggling for goals, because now in the later part of the season where your Mavericks, your bad boys step up, we haven't got that. So I think going into the transfer window in the summer,
have that, do you think we'd look different?
Yeah, very much so.
But with a better attack.
Yeah, with a better attack would be. Like, this is the thing.
I know the impulse is to just say 100%, but
no, we will, because you know why? Because you know why? When the tap was firing, put it this way: we've seen this team when we finished second the first time, under Arteta, we know that we can play. He knows how to play ball, innit? He knows how to get the ball down and play. Yeah, we saw great football and we came up short because the team burnt out. Yeah, we saw it the second season. Then we saw us go defensively strong. Like one thing for certain is that Arteta knows how to set up systems that you can attack, providing you've got the right personnel. Like he's probably looked at the personnel he's got this season and thought the best way to go about it is to play that the way that we're playing. But then I feel like
I know that we've seen Arsenal play some beautiful attacking football, but I'm talking specifically about this iteration of the Arsenal team.
Yeah, of course you would, because you know why? Because then you could put Declan Rice back in that box crashing 8 like he was the Xhaka role, because now you've got better attackers that can keep the ball up the pitch for longer. The problem that we have is the ball keeps coming back. They Martinelli, Gyökeres, and even Madueke. They are shocking at keeping the ball just in up the other half and doing something with it that is consistent. Like put it this way: if you had Kebakashele, the PSG winger, on the left hand side, and you had Lamine Yamal on the right hand side, that always makes something happen when they're in their positions. What changes is that now you're getting better.
That Declan Rice suggestion you made. So then, what happens around him?
Yeah, so this is what I'm suggesting. This is what I'm trying to say, because the problem you have, right, is that you keep the ball up the pitch and you're more creative with the ball in those situations that now we are terrible at. That we are terrible on our 1v1s. We're terrible at delivering the ball in. We're terrible at making runs in behind. Our wingers are terrible at it. Yeah, they're terrible at even providing service to our striker. You bring in naturally better players that are good at that. Lamine Yamal, is one of them players that he's actually good at beating players and actually good at assisting players and actually good at creating chances for himself. And he executes it at such a high level. That's the problem. Even though strategically wise, we set up very good and we're very rigid, but when it comes to those final third positions, we are actually horrible at it. So you naturally bring in better players with that system that can actually execute what Arteta wants his attackers to execute in the final third. Trust me, you're naturally going to be better. Like this is
So
the
why,
thing. I think
why is Saka seem to have regressed then? Because we know that
because,
he's
bro,
great.
he's
We know
bro,
that
it's like,
we know that he's great in the final
I
third.
think Saka's only regressed through tiredness and injury.
So why has
I think
Martinelli regressed? Martinelli, we see Martinelli being a goal machine in previous seasons, and we've seen he's do it in cup competitions in Europe.
Martinelli,
But why has he only got two?
Martinelli is naturally not good
Two
enough.
in the Premier League.
He's not good enough, bro. He's not. Let's act, because I think where Strives is going with this, Strives is going to make it a manager thing yet again, right? And like I've just said to you already, we've seen that Arteta can wait. Like I've just said to you,
if we're going to have a conversation, let's have a conversation.
Yeah, but I'm explaining it, bro. But it's not always. Everything doesn't always fall at the manager's door, bro. Like you asked us a question: if you put a better attack in this team, do they get better? And we're trying to explain that to you. Then you're now referring back to the players that haven't been better. So let's not talk about the players that we have got that we've already discussed that are shit at the moment in terms of attack.
Shit,
and discuss the question that was asked.
These are players.
Yeah,
that
but Martinelli's not good. Bro, put it this way, right? Like you said, under Arteta, yeah, we've seen Saka get better, but Martinelli regress or not get better. So that is a player thing, because this is the thing. At some point, players have to be responsible for their own training, the effort that they put in. Like Martinelli, I do think Martinelli's a good player, but he's not progressing, and that's not always the manager. Like I've seen Saka get better and get to a point where
Trossard's just dropped off a cliff in 2026. Martinelli, Trossard's just dropped off a cliff in 2026. Saka isn't as potent in front of goal this season. Martinelli isn't as potent in front of goal this season. In the Prem, I'm talking about. Madueke the same. And you're telling me that all of these players now are just garbage. And if we just get new attackers, it just switches on just like that. That's what we're telling me, yeah?
No, I never said. All right, so this is the point. This is where you get difficult, bro. So listen to the point I was making before you change the narrative, yeah? Before you change the goalposts and change the narrative. Like I said, right? They're not good enough at this at this present time, bro. They're not. Like Martin, like for all what I like Madueke, he isn't the level, like, unless he can switch it on and go up a gear, yeah, or he has another gear to go up. That deer in headlights just running in behind and running the ball off the pitch isn't going to cut it for where this team needs to go. Like, I like him and I want him to be better, but I don't even think he's got the level. Like, I think the way Arsenal need to do now in terms of moving forward in the transfer window is not by potential. It's not about us buying potential players that we think potentially he has the ability. You need to go and get the players that have the ability. So you need to go and get the high-level players that are there, the Desiree Doués, the Dembeles, if you can, the Rodrigos, like we were saying previously. The big players that I'm not saying they're available, but that's the caliber.
No, I understand what you're saying.
That I know that in the final third can make the difference. They're the elite. They're the world-class players. Like I said, if you gave us Elise
in our system, I'm talking about in our team.
You gave us Harry Kane, even Harry Kane.
I'm not talking about against PSG versus Bayern Munich. I'm talking for Arsenal Football Club.
I am talking about that though. I'm saying you bring those players, them attackers, into this system and into this team that are high-level players. You get a better result out of this team.
You know the only issue. Sorry to cut you short. You know the only issue I have with that, yeah, is when I see certain players get the ball, and let's use Martinelli for example, as you guys are using Martinelli. The only thing that I find worrying is Martinelli's automatic play now is backwards. Now, to me, that's not a player thing. The reason why I don't think it's a player thing is because Martinelli is an attacker. So unless you're being coached or told to go backwards, why would you go backwards? Yeah, and there was a time.
But this is the problem, right? So this is someone else said this to me the other day. Not said it to me, but someone else was asked. Like, there was a conversation and someone that was like trying to go the Arteta route said it, and someone else countered it because he goes like, the reason why you go backwards, and big up Monts, yeah, because Monts is a ball player, plays non-league football. It was Monts that mentioned this at the Dons game, yeah, and he's a Man United fan, yeah. So this is a Man United fan talking on behalf of our team, yeah. He was basically saying people talk a lot but don't understand when you're playing high-pressure games, what happens in high-pressure games. He's saying I've played in games where we've had cup finals, promotion games, going from like one tier of non-league to the next tier, and you play these high-level games. Sometimes you play safety because you think safety is the safer option than losing the ball and doing something that can put your team at risk. So as you can see on the other side with Madueke, who tries to go on and beat the man and tries to get past his player and do the same. The reason why Martinelli is going back is because it's the safer option. He rather, if he's run out of ideas and has a mental block and doesn't know what to do to get past a player, yeah, his natural thought is to keep possession of the ball and recycle it. And that's what, and this is the same thing that Mons, who's a footballer that plays at a level, said to me. Like
at Sunday League football, bro, I think man knows that.
Sunday League.
I'm not talking about Mons. I'm just saying, even at Sunday League, I'm saying I feel like man knows that. If you got nowhere to go, keep possession, like keep ball, like. But I think even when what you're saying, yeah, is kind of like blending to the point that I suppose I was thinking about. I've not even landed there yet, to be fair. So you just assume that I've landed there, but I'm also thinking like even what you use a Monts example. If a player like Martinelli, who we know is quite attacking, we've seen him in international, we've seen him in Arsenal before, and Zest is making a point that perhaps maybe it's not just a player thing, yeah. If maybe these players are getting into a position, yeah, where right, they don't want to lose the ball, keep the ball. They've got a mind block, like you said, Doug. Let's recycle the ball, keep possession, keep control. That to me lends towards the identity of Arsenal's football club today. Today, our football club is a lot about, we don't really break the lines as much. We don't try to break the line and we don't try to play through the lines quickly anymore. We're more about recycling possession, control, you know what I mean? We're ingenuitive in terms of our set pieces or what have you not. If there's a direct play where we can make an incisive pass and via open play, we will take it, but you're not going to see that all the time. Therefore, there's less turnovers of possession. It's just the way that we are geared to play football, our robustness. So when I'm asking, if we get in these superstar attackers, do you think that you get the same superstars that you get at PSG or Bayern Munich? It's not actually even a slight on Arteta, because actually I think Arteta's engineered a system of football that's got Arsenal to one foot in the fight. Well, actually, no, we ain't even got football in the final. We're in the semi-finals. We're on the cusp of winning the Premier League. This was all by design. I don't think that we get any other like star attacker and all of a sudden we just start changing the way we play or what have you not. At best, like you said, we might get like a Madueke, who you see how Madueke sometimes will beat his man, get and then put the ball back into the box or what have you not. We might get that at best. Do you know what I mean? I think our system and the way that we play football would have to change in order to get the best out of whatever attacker we bring in. Just like, in my opinion, we needed to change our system to get the best out of Gyökeres. We're getting decent returns out of Gyökeres, but we needed to change our system to get the best out of Gyökeres. The Gyökeres that we get today ain't the Gyökeres that we saw in Champions League last season.
Yeah, I think the Gyökeres thing, like we've already discussed, I don't feel like he's victim of the way that the system is set up now with the players that you've got. And this is the thing that, like, they've identified this is the players that we've got and how we have to play and do it. And like you said, we're not at a semi-final and challenging for the title just by chance. It's you've got to be good to be where we are, innit? You've got to be getting the results and doing what's necessary to be where we are, innit? And the reason why I feel that, like, and this is why I've always said, right, in games when I know I did views on sport, big up views on sport, and I know someone laughed at the point that I made, and I was basically saying that in games that sometimes we've dropped points, yeah, Arteta has coached the team to win. He's like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean he wants to play safe and this, that? But then I'm saying he's coached the team in a way that, or he set up the team in a way that they get the chances. It's like it's not they've not had the shots on target. It's not like they've not had the chances, but the players aren't good enough to convert. Like if you look at last season in the PSG game and you look at the chances when in these big games, yeah, and you look at the chance that Trossard had. Funny enough, we're talking about Trossard, and you look at the chance that Martinelli had in the first leg. Yeah, those two chances where Donnarumma saved it. If you put Dembele, you put Rafinha, you put Lewandowski, or Harry Kane in those same positions, it's a high percentage chance of scoring. Do you get what I'm saying? You got more chance of them putting the ball in the back of the net. The problem is when we get into these situations and we set the team up, or they get these chances that they've worked hard for, or design these chances to get, because of the level and the quality of the player that we have, they can't convert them. So that's what I'm saying. When you get put in high-level players, no matter even if you had 10 man behind the ball and was playing counter-attacking football, and that was the system, yeah. If you had better quality of players in those positions, even if the setup was fully haram, and you get that one chance on a fast break here on a counter-attack to score, but you had Vinicius there or you had Martinelli, who's your money on to score? It's going to be Vinicius, isn't it? Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? So what I'm trying to say is if we've got a better quality of player in these positions, no matter the system, yeah, because obviously, like, the systems that Arteta has put together have clearly had us challenging at the top of the table the last 4 seasons. So we can't say that his systems are all bad. We may not agree with it, but
that's why I'm not cussing it. I was never cussing the system.
If you've got better players, when the opportunities arise, like the chances Gyökeres had, like if Harry Kane was against Newcastle on the weekend, and he had that pass. Harry Kane makes that pass, bro.
All right, so my take
in one-on-one. Do you get the point I'm trying to make now?
I get the point I'm trying to make. But I guess my point is,
that's what I'm saying. Our attack this season has clearly shown that they're not good enough. It's not the system. They are not good enough, bro.
Our attack.
I think this cartel's hit the nail on the head. The comment that you had up. Arteta's instructions of keeping it safe 90% of the time, it doesn't help. Like, so in my opinion, Arteta gears us up to make sure we do not lose a game first before he gears us up to win a game. That's my opinion. So all I'm saying is, those higher quality attackers, they might buy us a couple of more goals. Yeah, maybe in each position. You know what I mean? They might get us a couple of more goals, but I don't think we're going to see an astronomical difference purely because of the system that is deployed by our gaffer. So far, it's working. The only time that I'll tear it apart is if we don't win a trophy, and I've said that out loud. But until now, I'll accept what we're doing. You get what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is, and I'm just asking a question because that's just where I'm at. I'm not saying that I'm right in it. I'm just asking you, man, if you had the same opinion. And Doug, you've made it very clear that you think whatever. To be honest, you
just said something just then, right? You just said something just then, and this is the point I'm trying to make, right? You just said you got better players, you probably get more goals. Yeah, the system and the way that they play may not be prettier, but you're going to get more goals. And
you'll get a couple of more goals.
So if you get more goals,
I'm saying
you can't really say whether it's a couple or a lot or none or whatever. But if you have a better quality of players, the chances are you're going to score more goals.
You have to hear what I'm saying so that you can
understand. So you can understand the point I'm making. So when I'm saying a couple more goals,
all right. So when I say a couple more goals, let me say a couple more goals.
If you've got better players, you're gonna. All right. The chances are you can convert more chances, isn't it?
Let me talk here. If Martinelli's on 2 goals, a couple more goals means 4 goals. Yeah, I'm not saying.
I hear it, but what I'm saying, I heard that. I heard what you said.
I'm trying to say.
This is what I'm trying to say. I heard you.
Okay. So if you heard me, then I don't get why you're pushing back. Because
I'm not pushing back. I'm not pushing back. I'm not the one pushing back. I made my point. I made my point. But what I'm trying to say is you just proved my point. You just said whether it's a little or a lot, yeah, there's a strong possibility you get more. Yeah, because you've got better talent. Yeah. Whether it's a little or a lot, you're gonna get more. And the chances are, if you've got better players, that little more or whatever, that could be the difference between you drawing 2-2 with Wolves and winning that game 3-2. Or winning that game 3-1 because you have better attack, so you can sustain the ball in their half for longer and not have the ball coming back at you 24/7. That when inviting pressure on yourself because you have better quality of players. Like Martinelli is going backwards because he's run out of ideas of what he needs to do to go forward. So he's going to recycle the ball. But if you have a better player that has the talent to get passes, man, or has a better talent of keeping hold of the ball and setting up and reloading, then you're going to get a better outcome. And this is the point I'm trying to make. Regardless of the system, if the manager says, you know what, if you run out of ideas, reset.
We don't
know.
If
you ain't got ideas and you're a better player, then you're not going to reset, are you? You're going to take your man on because you know how to get past your man.
We don't know how this system. We don't know how the systems work yet. This system might actually come to a Premier League win. This system might come to a Champions League win. So it's not that. Again, it's not about criticizing the system per se, because we don't know whether this system was successful yet. We will judge it at the end of the season. But what I am saying, is whether it's 2 more goals or 5 more or 3 more goals, a couple more goals, like I said, and you're saying it's an improvement. Ultimately, what I'm saying is, would better attackers change the way we play? What I'm asking is, will we enjoy the style of football more with better attackers? And my take is no. Under this style of it doesn't matter who we put there. This style of football was designed to be this way. I don't think we enjoy it more. Whether you get 2 more goals or 3 more goals. So your point is you make a good point there, Doug. But your point is kind of, as much as it's a good point, it's a little bit wasted just because I'm not criticizing the system.
It's not
I'm not.
wasted.
It is
That's
wasted.
what I'm saying.
It's wasted because
it's
I'm not
wasted.
criticizing.
You know why?
Brother, you're not understanding what I'm saying. That's why I'm telling you. That's why I'm telling you. But you can't tell me that your point is wasted.
Opinion. Like you're saying, you don't think because of the system.
Stop interrupting me. Let me say what I'm trying to say, bro.
You're telling me I don't understand, and I fully understand what you're saying, bro. You
said something, and I'm trying to land, man. Then you can have the floor.
Land it. I'm just trying to say that. I can see your blood pressure getting real high.
Because I'm just trying to say what I'm saying, bro.
Guys, land it. I hear it because you want to refer it back to the manager.
The point you're making, your point you're making is why I'm saying it's wasted here is because the system, we don't know if the system has failed. Your point you're making would be great if the system has failed, and then you can say, oh, that 2-2 at Wolves could be a 3-2 at Wolves, and we win. That 2-2 at Wolves.
What do you mean if the system's failed?
If you don't interrupt me, maybe it'll make sense. Because right now you're talking as if the 2-2 Wolves is a nail in our coffin. Our coffin's not.
I never said it was a nail in the coffin. I just said all I made was an example of the fact that in a game like the 2-2 at Wolves.
It's wasted.
It's not wasted because we're all speculating. You're speculating just as much as I'm speculating.
No, I'm making a point.
This is all. But your point isn't facts, though.
Doug, you've made bare points.
I'm trying to say, like,
you've made bare points that ain't facts. I'm just trying to make a point.
I'm not trying to make a point. That's opinion, though. So that's why.
Can I make a point? That's not facts without getting interrupted. Like, you've made bare points. That's not fact. You know what?
All right then.
Forget my point. Forget my point. It don't make no sense. Because man's talking about 2-2, but I'm like, the season's not done yet. So we might win the league.
What are you talking about?
Zest, if we win the league, but we drew 2-2 to Wolves, we've won the league. It don't matter that
I never said that the 2-2 affected the outcome of the league. All I made was a point. I could have picked any game. I could have picked any game. All I'm saying is in a game where...
But it's wasted on the point I'm making. It's wasted on the point I'm making because it's irrelevant.
You're talking in riddles, mate. Zest, you get what he's trying to say?
So basically, what Strives is saying is even with better attackers, the system we have.
I understand that bit.
Fam, you can't.
All right, then. I understand that bit. He said,
even let us just talk.
No, but I understand that bit. So what? I don't know where you're going. Where else you're going, Strives? Because regardless of me, you're saying let Zest talk. I said to you, I hear you in terms of you saying that you don't believe in the system. That's why you don't believe.
If he understood me, he tried to show you his understanding, and you cut him.
Yeah, because I said I understand that bit. So what is the bit that you clearly don't understand? Think I don't get?
It's all right, bro.
Guys, when we win the league, none of this matters.
No, explain to me the bit that you think I don't get because you said it was wasted. I don't get all what like he went into riddles. Like I get it. I have a difference of opinion because I said if you drop better players into this system, you're going to get a better result. He's saying because of the system, he don't think if you drop better players into it, he don't think you're going to get anything better out of the system. Yeah, you don't think you're going to get anything better out of it.
I didn't say
that. That's what you did say. That's what you just said.
I said in this system, whether we put better attackers like a Dembele, a Kvaratskhelia, or what have you not, I'm trying to say our style of play will still be our style of play, meaning if you don't enjoy our style of play right now, I doubt you're going to enjoy it even with those better players in there because of the system that's deployed by our management, by our gaffer. So you're saying that with better attackers, you might score a couple of goals. And I say, yeah, that's a good point. But why I'm saying the point is wasted on the point I'm making is I'm not saying that our system's failed. All I'm saying is, all I was asking first off, before I made the point is I was just asking first, do you think that the attack would mean that we would enjoy the style of play or would anything change at Arsenal in terms of our style of play? That was the question I asked, but you asked us
the question.
You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
I'm not. I'm gonna watch it back in the end. I'm gonna watch it back when we come off live. I'll watch it back.
I know what I was asking.
Zest, didn't he ask us if you put better attackers in this play, does it make us better? Isn't that what he asked us?
Well, isn't that not what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
what he
trying
was
to
saying.
change up your
If-
wording,
That's
bro.
what
Like,
that's what I'm
it's
talking
like
about.
even
But then
just
you're
saying, I
saying,
told you what you just said, and then you relayed what you
but
said
then you're
back in a different way.
but then you're telling me that, oh, we might score a couple of goals or what have you.
I
Not.
never said a couple. You said a couple.
And then you said, oh, so does that prove my point yet that we're better? I said, no, that might prove your point, and that's a good point, but it's redundant, it's wasted, because my point is a couple of goals isn't what I'm talking about. I'm talking
And then
about
I
whether
said,
it
and I
transforms,
said, oh yeah,
whether
but
it
then,
transforms
but
our
you,
attack. So what I'm trying
but-
to say in layman terms, let me just land my point, and then you can have the floor and talk as long as you like, is whether we have Kvaratskhelia or whether we have Dembele, in this system, our play will look the same way.
you agree with that, Zest, yeah?
So, me personally, I think if we had those better players, we're gonna have more goals. You know what I mean? But I see the point that you're making, Strides. You're saying you feel, and this is where the confusion's coming in. Strides feels that because of the system is going to be the same across board by maybe 1 or 2 goals. However, I personally feel if we had certain players or certain attackers, we're going to have more goals, so we're going to get more points on the board. That's what I think.
So you think we score like 30 goals, we 30 extra goals, and we're gonna just become this attacking flary team that's just open play.
This
We're
is
gonna
what I'm
start
trying
playing
to
through the thingy.
see. I'm not gonna say
I'm talking to.
No, but what I do feel is with different attackers, like playing the way, because I don't think we play football that's bad. So therefore, with the same,
I never said it was bad. I'm just talking about the system we're playing.
Even if we look at with the same chances, like whatever chances you can shut your eyes and think of, yeah. Let's even say, the Man City game, yeah. Eze's one slightly unlucky, an inch to the left, inch to the right, it probably goes in. Havertz's header, Harry Kane on that header, that's back in the net. Yeah. The other chance that Havertz had against Man City, the shot, another striker, Harry Kane, back in the net. So that's giving more points. More goals equaling more points. So I do definitely think with a better attack, we're definitely scoring more goals, which is going to equal more points. So I'd have to definitely say that. I don't think there's an issue with the system in terms of to say if you had a Lamine Yamal, Kvaratskhelia, they're not going to bag more. Of course, they're bagging more.
So what? They're bagging more. You know, in order for them to bag more, we have to play through the lines a lot quicker. We have to be a lot more braver in the times in the way that we play football. We can't recycle and be slower in our build up. That's not going to change.
My belief, the reason why
the Kvaratskhelia, the Dembeles that are making those runs that are exciting, you're not getting that in this system of Arsenal Football Club deployed by Mikel.
You're not understanding, though. This is the point man's trying to make, right? This is the point that even Zest is trying to say. When you have better players, you adjust to the better players. So when you've got better players in those wings making different types of runs, it's like the run that Kvaratskhelia made for his goal in behind Kimmich. Yeah, he checked that way, and then ran, put Kimmich out of position and running behind him. That's football IQ that obviously Martinelli hasn't got, because Martinelli don't do them things. Like when you have better players that can read the game better, they play better. When you have, like, put it this way, one thing a lot of men always say, that have dropped down and play like lower leagues and they played at Arsenal, they say when you're around top players, it's different because they're just boppy with it. Like these men ain't boppy with it, so you can't play that way with these men because they're not like that. So you get players that are juky, someone like a Lemon Lamar that can give a 1-2 roller man turn and running behind. Like we're not seeing that with these players. So when you start to get better players that understand the game better, make different type of runs, that receive the ball better, that can hold the ball up when they get it, it allows you to give it to him knowing he's going to hold on to it and then maybe make a run off of him or receive the ball elsewhere. This team don't play like that because they can't play like that. But when you have better players in that can play a certain type of way, it naturally changes it. Because now Declan Rice can give it to his winger knowing that he can run and release that position, not fearing that he might lose possession and want to recycle and come back, because you can trust your players more. Like
also, what I was going to say, the difference is, sorry to cut you, Dougie, the difference is as well, if you have better players, then the players that you already have to play a different way automatically. I think a lot of the issue is like, even when we look at Gyökeres, for argument's sake, it's clear to see that some of our players, they don't trust Gyökeres like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you, I know I keep using Harry Kane as example, but if you have a Harry Kane, you're going to be more confident putting the ball in the box, thinking to yourself, Harry's in there, he's going to finish. At the moment, we've got some plays where, all right, look at against Newcastle, Gyökeres had a chance to play. Sorry, Odegaard had a chance to play Gyökeres through on goal.
I was going to bring that one up.
Why didn't he play that? It. The reason why he didn't, to me, I could be wrong here. The reason why he didn't do that is because he ain't got the faith. How dare you look at your striker in the box? You've got to thread the ball through and you don't do it. That's crazy. If that's back in the day and man done that to Thierry Henry, you're getting bad up, bro.
You should be getting bad up anyway. You should be getting bad up anyway. Because you should always do the right thing. And the thing is, you lot, are being like, I feel like you lot are giving Gyökeres a proper bad rap.
I'm not.
I rate
Gyökeres. I rate him, but them man don't feed him.
Thank you. And you know what? And that's the point that you've made. With better attackers or better players that will play differently. Why are we not feeding them? We've got a better shot fit. We've got a better shot taker.
No, because they haven't got the capability to do it. I've seen Gyökeres make passes that man have watched him make the run and turn out and play another pass because they don't believe in themselves to be able to make that pass. Like, look at Eze came on today, right? Eze probably made more line breaking passes to try and get in behind, and Odegaard made the whole game, and Eze was on for however long. Do you get me? So it's the style of player. Like when you have a player that's confident and, like you said, Zest, he's fearless. Came on, don't mind playing them passes. He's calm with it. Yeah, same way like Nketiah keeps on bombing forward, trying to. I see Nketiah whip the ball in the box. He's trying, but then you have players like that, Martinelli that could then play the passing and he cuts back and turns back and then does a madness, loses it, or you got Trossard playing with it in his own box. You got all these players doing all this fuckery, and that's why. And then you will see Gyökeres. I see it bare times this season. He's made dope runs, But if you had a Kevin De Bruyne, a Özil, those type of players, they find him. They make that pass. A Trent Alexander. Like, they make them passes. We haven't got an out-and-out ball passing midfielder.
But that's okay. You inadvertently kind of said a bit of my point, because remember we started talking about whether if we get these attackers in, whether it improves. You're speaking my language now, Doug, because I agree. So that's what I'm trying to say. You put these magical attackers in front of goal, we're still gonna have the same issue. And I don't know if you remember, like if we wind it back like 20 or so minutes when you were talking, and I was trying to say, all right, cool. If you said we changed Deckers and we make him more of a box crashing midfielder. I said, then what else do we do in the middle? You'll remember I said that because I was trying to get to the point that you've literally just made. Bro, you can have these attackers in front of there, but who's going to be
but you're still missing the point, though. You're still missing the point, though. You may think that what I'm saying ties in with what you're saying, but it still is clear what the point I'm making. Like, if you have better attackers, remember, not only just you have to feed the attackers, but we do get the ball out wide. So when you've got better attackers that can make more things happen for you, there are chances that they will feed your striker, innit? And this is the problem, remember, and create chances for themselves. Like, the problem that we're having is that I don't think none of our wingers have scored more than 8 goals. I don't know who's even come close. Like, obviously, Gyökeres is on 18, bless him, but no one else ain't even come close to creating enough chances or enough goals for themselves.
I think Nelly might be
Nelly's on 8 or 9 or something. He might be coming close to it, but that's not good enough. And I guarantee you, how many shots has he had that he's missed or not converted? And the problem is bro, naturally, if you have better, you do better. Like, you look at City, City now started to click. Semenyo made a difference. They went and got a better winger. He's made the fucking difference, bro. Now, I know if we went and got Semenyo, it would have made the difference for us. You can't say that, like, better players don't make the difference, because they were struggling up until they got Semenyo and Gay in. Two better players than what they had came in and made them better. So
Pep's a kind of manager that's happy to kind of like what we've seen this season with Pep is he was stubborn. He was playing in a particular way. Then we've seen him shapeshift and go towards like the Haaland route. So now he's playing a different kind of football where you're playing with a target man. The kind of striker Joker is, but Haaland's just a lot more clinical. And then what we started to see, we saw Pep go down the robust route the same way Arteta's gone. That's why you're seeing more of a Nico Riley, that even though he plays in left back, he comes into the middle, and you're seeing less of your Fodens and stuff like that. You're playing with more like physical players. That's why you got that CM that's now the right back. Pep started to change his play, and then again he shape-shifted one more time when he realized he had a maverick in Shirky, and now he just says he lets kind of Shirky do his thing, like the same way he let Lionel Messi kind of do his thing. Pep is a lot more malleable, a lot more interchangeable in terms of his tactic and strategy. His system isn't just one way. We've seen Pep adapt so many different times during the season, whereas I personally, I'm going to talk for myself, no one else, I haven't seen that with Arsenal. So I thought you was coming onto my point. Look, it sounded like you were, but I don't know. I feel like sometimes you want to disagree with me more than you actually want to agree with me, because in one sense you're talking about
I'm not even trying to disagree with you for the sake of disagreeing with you. I'm not trying to argue with you. I just don't agree with your point in it. It's not because it's you personally. I honestly think better attackers make us better. I don't see how it doesn't. Do you get what I mean? I don't. I think that I agree. Like I said, I think when you, like I said, you can't be tunnel like what I said earlier. Like I think sometimes when people talk and we talk about these things, it's one dimensional, isn't it? So part of the system and the way that we play right now is partly to do with the personnel as well as is to do with the manager. Because I think if you had an attacking team that can handle you changing the system to be more attacking, and you know that these players can. Like, if you put it this way, if you have Bayern Munich's attack, right, and you wait, let me land. These are the
same players in that system.
Let me land. But they can't play that way anymore, Strives. Wait, let me land, yeah? So let's say you gave Arsenal Bayern Munich's attack. So you put Harry Kane in there, you put Elise, and you put Luis Diaz, yeah? And then you drop Thomas Partey back in midfield, right? In midfield, that player that can pick it up from the back and break the lines and play forward, instantly you can change the system because you have a team now that can play the better way that you want to play and can be more attacking and sustain it and hold that attack, like, and keep your team boxed in, because that's how we used to play before, because we had Thomas Partey that could pick the ball up, not take two people out with the drop of the shoulder and play a ball in behind. We haven't got that now. Zubimendi was meant to be that, and he's not at the level to be that. Yeah,
that's why I'm saying that I agreed with what you were saying. That's why I'm saying that you're actually now speaking towards what I'm talking about, because now we're talking about personnel being able to influence the system. I agree. But that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if you're just intent on trying to disagree, because you're now saying one dimensional, this and that, but then you're saying what I'm saying because it don't make sense. Because if you're saying we haven't got the midfield to be able to pick out the passes in the way that we need to, then you're essentially saying that we are playing a system that worked for us and it's successful due to our personnel. If we have better attackers, I'm saying better attackers alone won't elevate the play, because we don't have enough.
Elevate the play because you've got better players.
Right, that's fine. You're welcome to that opinion.
I think it elevates the play because you have a better level of players.
That's what I'm trying to say.
With a better level of players, you're gonna get better results. That's a fact.
Part of Zubimendi's fall off and drop off is because of the fact that these men are fucking up at the top, and it's just putting my man under bare pressure because Zubimendi is actually sick.
That is the problem.
Have you man ever watched a man from non-league drop down a level? Have you man seen that happen before? Ask him the level. Have you seen a man from like non-league or like even a semi-pro drop down a level and come kick ball with us at the pen or play Sunday league?
Yeah, of course.
Now that man will look a lot different when he's playing with those better players that's threading them balls, threading the higher quality chances than how he's gonna play when he's down to Sunday league level.
Bro, I've seen man drop down to a mad level. Put it this way: when you're a pro and even if you come down to Sunday league, bro, the level shows, bro. The level shows.
Of course, the level show, but I'm trying to say, okay,
they don't drop their level to play with man.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they don't. I'm not saying they drop their level. Like, trust me, I'm not saying that. They are still sick. But what I'm trying to say is, you will see the difference in the way that they play when they're playing with level man, and you'll see the way that they play when they're playing with man that can't kick. They're not. They're all of a sudden they look as average as the rest of the team. They're not getting the ball as much. They're not getting them chances. They're not because the ball ain't getting to them because they're not the system that the Sunday League people will probably aren't the same as.
I hear what you're saying, but this is
I
the
think
thing.
with the top attackers, the ball will get to them.
Yeah, the ball gets to them, though.
This is the point. As well, but you got to remember,
That's fine. It's just my point, my opinion, isn't it?
You know, one of the problems that I have with Gyökeres, yeah, and maybe this is just because it is his first season, and again, this is why I'm willing to give him time. One thing that Gyökeres doesn't do, Gyökeres doesn't command the ball like a top striker. And what I mean by that is, prime example, going back to the Odegaard pass or the Odegaard not pass, yeah, brother, if that's Ian Wright, he's getting his head torn off. You're not giving that ball. You know what I mean? But maybe it's because it's his first season, he's new, he's not laying into man. Because by rights, what Gyökeres does, he don't get the ball, he just cusses. But he just cusses like, oh man. But really and truly, a top striker is badding man up, bro. Like Osimhen, yeah. And this is why I say things like yesterday and that when they talk about Arsenal linked to Osimhen, brother, we will never sign Osimhen, yeah, because Osimhen is a cannon. He's like Aubameyang, bro. Arteta don't want them man in the team. Them man who are going to come in at halftime and rip man apart for not giving man the ball, laying them through balls and that. That's what Aubameyang and them man do. Arteta's not going to have it. Do you see what I'm saying? But
then maybe Berta's going to look at him. So Berta's going to look at him. But if Berta's going to look at him, Berta, he's gone there for a reason. He's not gone there just to sit around. He's gone there, bro. So I hear it. Remember, we're linked. It's not a link that we're just linked with Osimhen and it's just paper talk. He went there and sat down and spoke to them. So maybe we do need a cannon in the changing room. Like, and maybe Berta's recognized that. I hear what you're saying as well, because I know that Arteta's not for the man.
He don't do well with them, man.
He got everyone at the club that's like that. But maybe he needs that, and maybe that's what this club and people from the outside or someone like Berta's come in and said, bro, no, you need someone like Osimhen. But
this is the issue because apparently Gyökeres was the Berta signing. Arteta wanted Sesko. And
but then Šeško didn't want to come in it. Come on, we know how that played out. He wasn't brave enough to come, and we had to go for Gyökeres because he didn't think he would get him in front of Havertz when remember that all of that happened at the beginning of the season.
I just think if with a better level of attacking experienced attacking players, they're gonna make man give them the ball because you see all this Saka cutting in. It's all fine Saka when he's cutting in and scoring. But you see that this season where Saka's cutting in and he ain't scoring, bro. If I'm the top striker, you're getting bad up now, bro. Understand that it's a different day now. Last season when you were cutting in, banging in double figures, that's fine. The season before, that's fine. But now, when you cut in, brother, give me the ball, bro. Don't make that.
And I fully agree. I think if you're looking at a Zatlan or a Cavani or an Aguero or a Suarez, and they're making that run, and you're on one, you trust them, you're going to give it to them, and two, they're expecting you to pass that ball. Like Gyökeres, in the way that this team can be, they can be a little bit too friendly, like cool. And you see when things go wrong, they're upset, but it's all a bit like we're a family. You need to bring in a bad boy striker. Yeah, you need to bring in someone that's going to be the leader and be the man that's like, nah, bro, this is what I expect. And
I agree. I think our system would need to change when we do that. That's what
but that's what I'm saying though. I'm not saying that the system's great. You understand that. But what I'm saying is the system will naturally adapt to better players. Like that is natural. Like if you've got a better attack force, you're gonna adapt the system to accommodate a better attack force. Like, but then naturally, with better players comes more sustained pressure in the other half, becomes more chances in the opposition box, more touches in the opposition box, more like not even necessarily just flair or better football, but you just control the game and dominate teams better. Because you've got the better players, because they can hold the ball up. Like, look at what in attack. Look what Elise and all them lot can do in attack. They're great. Like, they're great in attack. Like, problem with these teams is that their defense is shit. But then we have the defense. So if you have the attack and you have the defense, naturally you're gonna attack more, innit? Because you've got the defense to keep them out, and you have the attack to keep on going forward, innit? Like, and
what if you was gonna change the attack, like what position would you focus on? Or what positions would you focus on?
Left wing. I bring in another striker. I just all across the board, everything.
What, even another right winger?
I'll bring in a right winger, mate.
Yeah,
I would.
Probably. And then you see the same question that you asked me in Zest, yeah. Same question to you. What are you saying for Fulham? What squad changes would you make, and how you reckon it? And how do you reckon we?
Like you said, if Calafiori is about, I'd rest Nkape because Nkape has been running it. I'll start Calafiori, having Nkape on the bench, maybe to get some minutes if possible. I would, obviously Declan Rice and them, and I got to play, innit? Like they got to play.
You saying still no Norgard?
Still no Norgard. Like, put it this way, I wouldn't mind Norgard playing. You never know, he might surprise you and play Norgard and shut everyone up. I don't mind Norgard being in there. Like, if he's there,
Norgard's going to surprise you because I think he's good enough.
Yeah, I never said he wasn't. I like Norgard. I just said that there's reasons behind why they're obviously not playing him. That's what I said. Like, I never said he's shit. Like,
you realistically think he's going to play though? So you think it's going to be what Zubs and
Declan, Odegaard, Trossard on the left? You'll start Trossard.
You reckon? Yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's all opinion based. Like, for whatever reason, because them, and this is what I'm trying to say, because the attack is failing. He don't trust any of them, so he tries them out each time. Because have you seen how many times he swapped between Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli? It's not like he's just gone with one all the time because he knows that one is 30. He don't know what each one of them.
I don't know why he keeps trying the Madueke, Nelly, and Gyökeres one though. Like that one has the Nelly, Madueke, and Gyökeres one. That one has, other than today, I don't know if that phrase produced any goals. Any goals?
That's what I'm saying, but we don't have any other options. And this is the point. I'll be honest. I never saw it at the start of the season that this attack was going to be so bad. And I'm not even, I'm not even putting Gyökeres in that bubble because I actually like Gyökeres. And I think he's the victim of attackers just being anti. He's the victim of that. Because you've got to even check it. Even like someone like Saka that's been so consistent has been poor. Let's have it. Like even his conventional go-to drop the shoulder. That's why when he came on against Newcastle, I thought he looked a bit fresher. He looked like he was trying things. It looked like I thought, okay, if we can get Saka back to his best or get him close to his best is good enough. Like, do you get what? Because he is good. Do you get me?
Yeah.
But even he's been shit. Like the attack this season has been surprisingly bad.
I don't like that. I don't like that word when it comes to Saka.
I know, I hear it, and I don't mean it in an offensive way.
His underlying numbers have been decent.
No, I know, and I don't mean it in an offensive way because we're better with him than we are without him. But
I think that's just from the perspective of goals.
Yeah, the standard that we hold him to, he's not been great, bro.
That's what it is. It's the perspective of goals.
Yeah,
I understand it. Goals and assists.
I also feel like he's been slightly selfish this season, and I think that's not helped because I think there's another thing in this Arsenal team is that when you have a team of players that are this young, that are all very good, but no standout, like franchise world-class player, and Saka being that guy, but then, you bring in this Gyökeres striker that everyone just instantly loved, that everyone loved the Gyökeres signing. And then, you got Declan Rice now that everyone's saying, captain, these men hear the noise. Like, and I felt like Saka kind of slightly played for himself this season where times he could have looked for Gyökeres, he didn't. Times when he could have passed, he didn't. He was trying to shoot and it wasn't coming off. And I think having time to sit down and understand and reflect on things might make him step his game up and get him back to where he was. Because
that probably comes from a lack of goals.
I know, and I get it.
You know what I mean? Where he's not scoring, so it's kind of like when you're a striker and you're not. Remember that period where Gyökeres wasn't scoring, so he snatched everything.
Yeah.
He's not like a striker. So I think that's what that is. Therefore,
but I would say this attack this season is like we just need to revamp the whole attack because you got to remember next season with the midfield. Yes, I get what's happened with the midfield and the way that the style of play and everyone's talking. But we've lost Zuberman, we lost Miko Moreno, big player in midfield.
That was a big miss, man.
Then Odegaard's falling off the face of the planet. He's meant to be the glue, and he's even fell off. So,
what do you make of people saying that he's been misprofiled?
Say that again.
What do you think of people saying that he's been misprofiled? Like,
What do you mean? That Arteta don't use him right?
Yeah, that maybe he's no longer the 10.
No, not really. He's been brought in to do the 10 job that we expect him to do, and he's not doing it. Like, he ain't been misprofiled. He's just not playing. Yeah. And he was. Don't get it twisted. Part of Arsenal playing the way that they've played, And I feel like Odegaard has let Arteta down because remember, part of the reason why we used to play the free-flowing football and the flying football is because Odegaard was the architect of that. But and then you know what? To save your captain, you've adapted the system in the hope that he gets back to his best, and he hasn't. And now you've got a system where you play a 10 that don't play as a 10. So now it's just anti-football because your 10 doesn't create nothing.
But what about when Santi? What about when Santi Cazorla was a 10 and then he got pushed backwards because Mesut Ozil
but he could though because Santi Cazorla, Wenger saw the fact that Santi Cazorla could actually play in midfield and dictate play. He was a mad thing. Do you get what I'm saying?
And you don't think what was I going to say? You don't think Odegaard can do that as well? No.
I think he's strong enough. He's not strong enough. No. He could maybe go in the 8th position. You basically don't think you don't think he can do what Zubi does. You don't think he can do what Zubi Mendy does.
Odegaard.
Yeah.
No, he's weak.
He ain't got the confidence. He ain't got the confidence to play them. See what Zubi Mendy does. These men are nearly killing Zubi Mendy's confidence.
I was about to say, even to a degree. Hey, Zubimendi's quite frail to a degree as well, bro.
Yeah, he's not. But I feel like it's the pressures of the Premier League, bro. He's come from Spain, winter break, relaxation, feet up, having it all good, and doing all of that at Real Sociedad, bro. They're probably out of all the competitions by a certain time. Funny enough, they won it this year, but fucking like, you know what I mean? Like, and then come to the Premier League, no winter break. Full on. Remember, we got 3 cups. I realized most leagues have got 2 cups, you know. I mean, 1 cup, we have 3. We have a Carabao
domestic
Cup, a FA Cup. We've got 2 domestic cups. None of these other places have got 2 domestic cups.
I also think, I definitely think, again, sometimes we sort of shrug off the fact that it's a couple man's first season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even Gyökeres, and this is why I say, like, I'll never cash in my stock. I said from the jump, I'm giving Gyökeres a season. Now, for me, a 19-goal return is good enough. Do you know what I mean? All right, it's not enough Premier League goals, which is the bread and butter, but a 19-goal return is good enough. Because if he gets a couple more and he's into the 20s, you can't argue at all. Now, as much as they are 2 different players, Drogba scored 16 in his first season. You know what I mean? Drogba didn't look like a bad boy. However, we know how that turned out. Drogba is an absolute bad boy.
Yeah.
I don't see why Gyökeres cannot turn out to be a bad boy. The only reason why, all right, alternative like rival fans, I don't care about them. The only reason why Arsenal fans are getting onto Gyökeres is because Arsenal fans are getting onto Arsenal, period. Do you know what I mean? So everybody wants an outlet. Okay, we're not scoring enough. Let's blame the striker. Forget about the service he's getting. Let's blame the striker. Once we start to play to Gyökeres' strengths, Gyökeres will be a bad boy. Do you know what I mean? Because as we've seen already, that little bulldozer business he's got going on, defenders can't manage that. The only problem is at the moment, he don't know how to deal with that to get to a point like a what was it? A Diego Costa. Where the man are just bullies, bruv. Even Drogba, my man are just once you master that little thing there, and man are just bullies on the pitch. Yeah, it's mad. It's mad.
He's got to have his I am him season. You know, I am him. Like where you know he's not having it, and he's just in the because this is the thing. I think when he started the season, he was trying so hard. It meant that you're trying to get into the space, you're trying to run in, and you just instead of where you would have probably took that run a little bit easy, you ran past the ball and it's gone behind you, and they crossed it and you're ahead of it and it's back there. Like reading the game, and he's trying so hard. I think that's why I just hope, and I'll be real, and I get what everyone says about the style of play, and even what you're saying, Strides, even though we do clash sometimes about it, but I think it's so much pressure on winning this league, so much this season. The pressure is so high. That's why we're seeing the shit football, the safety football, because it's a revert mechanism to you know what I mean, a default mechanism to play it safe, to be, because the pressure is high. But I honestly think if we won the league this season and now that monkey's off their back, Like, and they can just chill now because yes, how often do teams hold it back to back? But it won't be pressure on them to win it again, like do the double, like unless they're in a position to do it. I reckon they'll play so much freer football in this after winning it. So that's when we will see the football open up and it'll be more expansive and it'll be more excitable to watch and whatever. But
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I just think the pressure's so high for them to win it, man. And because it's so high, you just like they're not even playing football, bro. Like, and I don't think that's our. I think it's the players, bro. They're struggling. They're tired. They're running. They're just doing whatever they can to get over the line because it means so much to them. They know how much it means to us as a fan base.
Even going back to a point you lot made earlier, in terms of attack and defense. The first half of the season, it's fair to say that the defense carried us over the line first half of the season.
Yeah.
And I think unfortunately got to a point where the attack is supposed to take over, they didn't take over. Yeah. So now it's got to the point where even our defense looks shaky. Do you know what I mean? Because when the attack line was shaky before, the defense had everything shored up. Now I feel like
that started from the Sunderland game, you know.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the defense is doing their job. They're getting the ball forward. The ball's coming back every time. Same thing we're saying like with Declan Rice, where everyone's like, oh, like Doug's saying, Rice needs to be more robust. He needs to be in the box more. But when the ball goes up, it's coming back down, straight back down. It's only really when Havertz is there, we might see he might hold up the ball a little bit, but then it still might amount to nothing. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, where the defense was carrying us over the line and the attack hasn't taken over, our attack has been so bad this year. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But at the same time, our attack's been so bad, and we're 1 foot in the Champions League final and having a shootout for the what do you call it? So even where everybody's like, oh, it's not sustainable. Well, unfortunately, it is sustainable. It's not what we like, but at the end of the day, this is where we are. Do you know what I mean? But I just think if we get over the line, I actually think the football completely changes next season. And why is that? Because we ain't got to deal with all this rival fans of you're bottling, you can't win anything. You know what I mean? The team has finally won something. They ain't got to deal with that pressure. It's more relaxed. Yeah. I think that's exactly why when it comes to Champions League, we look so different in the Champions League. The team are relaxed. They're playing ball. When it comes to the Prem, like I said earlier, after 20 minutes, every man is on edge. We ain't scored this 0-0. This is mad. We're gonna bottle it. The crowd gets shook. They're silent. They're not singing. Bro, the Emirates don't sing as it is. So to be in this state where even the man who's normally singing, that's mad.
Yeah,
the Emirates sing.
The Emirates had times when it was rocking, but it's nervy. I went to the Leverkusen game and
let me be real with you, Straz. If you sit in good seats at the Emirates, brother, you are not surrounded by people that sing, bro.
Oh yeah, if you're at club level,
I know someone and they would give me their ticket sometimes, and bro, when I sit there and I'm singing, man are turning around and
I'm a decent.
I know them seats there, bro.
You know them seats where man are like,
you can't enjoy yourself, you know,
bro.
And at halftime, you just gotta take yourself in for one of the free drinks and that.
Listen,
you're talking about the club level ones, isn't it?
But when you swear in them sections, man can't believe it. They're disgusted.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm out there like, oh, you fucking get fucked. Bro, man are looking at me like they want to get security.
Yeah, you need to stay seated, mate.
You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, but that's what's going on. So I can only imagine now when it's on edge, it must be horrible, bro.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And then that's radiating straight onto the pitch. It's difficulties, bro. Let's be real. Like I was saying to I think it was you, Strides, over there, or it might have been Mess. I was saying, I've never in my life, I'm nearly 40, bro. I've never in my life seen so much hate on one team. I've never seen this, bro.
The worst it's ever been.
From the media, from rival fans, from men who don't even watch football. Like, bro, you might, bro, like I was coming out the gym the other day, had my top on. Some woman, oh yeah, you should change that top. I've heard Arsenal don't do well. She don't
And
even
you're like,
know,
where
bro.
did you hear that from? Exactly. I hate when they even do that. And you're like, where you been getting that from?
Bro, I've never seen people want to see a team lose so bad in my life.
Yeah,
Bro, like, you know how mad it is? Man, watch our games, bro. Like when I'm in the group and I'm watching the game and we're in there bantering, man is talking everything. But I'm saying, but when Spurs was playing yesterday, I didn't see you in the group. You weren't active.
I'm telling you,
Alright, bro. No,
I'm
bro.
telling
There's like, bro, man. Like, you check YouTube. There's whole section of people hate watching. Arsenal,
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, and the reactions. Have you seen the reaction clips are funny, especially when they fell.
You see that Liverpool dude, the round face you with the high pitched voice.
Yeah.
Big man.
Oh,
he
him, yeah. I know
he makes a whole thing off to Arsenal. Oh, it's gonna be VAR, get involved.
Yeah. Oh, why are they giving that? Surely they're gonna review
it. Yeah, fam. Every time, and this is what I'm saying, bro. I've never seen hate like this before, bro. Never. Like it's serious. So I'm thinking,
it, bro.
Hey, this is completely off topic, yeah. I've been looking down here because I was chatting to one guy's a United fan, Easy Doug, you know him, Easy, yeah, and he was telling me about he was telling me about the form table since the start of the year. I can't remember what his point was, yeah, but I was just having a look at it because he sent it to me, but I went on Transfer Market just to look at it myself. Yeah. And the form table, yeah, from the start of the year, so like literally from like game week 20, yeah. So now, do you know Man United are top of that form table? Man City are second. So Man United are top, 15 games played, 31 points. Man City with 14 games played.
Well,
with 14 games played, they got 29. And Arsenal, we're third with 15 games played, 28. Then fourth is Bournemouth. Yeah. 26. The only reason why I'm bringing it up because I'm just like, I wanted to see how many teams that we're playing in the informed teams, yeah, like in the run up to the end of the season. And I think Man City, they got Bournemouth to play, and they're fourth in the form table at the moment. Then Liverpool's fifth, Brighton sixth, West Ham seventh. So you see, like when we're saying, seventh, West Ham might be a bogey, like be a tricky fixture. When we're playing them at home. Obviously, West Ham's seventh in the form table. This is since January, yeah. So since basically in 2026 so far.
Yeah.
Who else is City got? They got Everton, yeah. Everton's 11th in the form table. Fulham is 10th in the form table. Yeah, so we got Fulham next. They got Everton, I think. So that's 10th. So 10th. Villa, they got Villa, who's 13th in the form table. So Villa's not doing too well. Crystal Palace, they're 16th in the form table.
But this is the thing. If you check it from January, but if you go to the last 10 games, last 10, the last 5, you got last 5, West Ham and 9th. We're 8th.
So what game week are you doing it? What the game week?
So
25?
I'm just like, because on my team it does form, and it does like form. You can go from the last 5 games played, the last 10, the last 15, the last 20, the last 25, the last 30. Okay. So if you look at the last 10 games, the one that you was looking at was the last 15 games. So because we've got 5 games left. So you think from the halfway point to now, 31 points, Man United being the most informed team the second half of the season, Man City, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Brighton. But then if you bring it closer, you bring it to the last 5 games, you've got Brighton at the top winning on 13 points. You've got Nottingham Forest, Man City on 11, then you've got Liverpool, Man United, Leeds, Bournemouth, Arsenal on 9, West Ham, Crystal Palace. So if we go like over the last 10, West Ham are 6th. Like they're gonna, I swear, do Man City play West Ham as well?
No, do they? Yeah, so I think I see the one that you're referring to now. Still, so Bournemouth's still 7th though. So Bournemouth is still up there.
Yeah, Bournemouth. I'm telling you, Bournemouth is going to be the game that wins us the league. I'm telling you now.
Who's got Nottingham Forest? We ain't, have we? I think we got.
We haven't got Nottingham Forest. No, we're good. I tell you now, this is our fixtures. What we got to the end of the season, we have West Ham, we have Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, Crystal Palace.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
So Man City got Everton, Brentford at home, Palace away, Bournemouth away, and then Villa at home.
Oh,
So I personally
in
think
the form table, it's favoring. No,
I personally think if there's going to be a Man City slip up, it's going to come in the next 3 games.
Yeah.
It's either going to come against Everton, Brentford,
but Everton.
or Palace.
If we take Doug's, if we take the last 5 games, Everton's 15th, 15th in the form table. If we take, and then what's it?
And again, Bournemouth away is not easy.
Now Bournemouth, that's what I'm saying. I think Bournemouth, because even if you go back, even if you go as far back as match day 20, Bournemouth are solid. Bournemouth are solidly in there. Like, you get what I mean? Like, Bournemouth are like 4th if we go back to 15 games, like you said, Doug. If we go back the 5 games, like you said, they're 7th. If I go back, let's say I go back 10 games, where are they? They're 7th. So Bournemouth are like a solid kind of.
Yeah, they're a solid outfit, man. They're in form, bro.
Listen,
Like, I'll be honest. I'll just be honest.
West Ham though.
So I'll just be honest. If we get past the West Ham game,
then we're good.
Then we're good. Just get past the West Ham game, then we're gonna smash Burnley at home, as the last home game of the season, and then we go away to Palace. Palace hopefully by then will be celebrating an international win of getting to the final of the European the Conference League. And nothing to play for, and we'll smash them. But the teams that City have got to play have things to play for. So, and the thing is, Everton, you forget David Moyes, Arteta, he managed Arteta for how long? Trust me, Arteta is going to be speaking to my man like, bro, let's try and get something popping. Plus, it's Jack Grealish's old team. Like, there's incentives for Everton to play well. Plus, Everton ain't shit at home. Do you get what I'm saying? They're good at home.
They're not. But in the last 5 games, they've only won 1 game. 1 game, drawn 1 game, lost 3 games.
It's the Bournemouth game. I'm telling you, it's the Bournemouth game.
But Everton didn't look bad against West Ham at all, man.
No, they didn't. But Fulham, you see Fulham that we're playing in their last 5 games, 2 wins, 2 draws, a loss. In the form table, our fixtures are looking tougher still, you know.
Yeah, they're looking tough, man. But
just on form.
But then, the thing is, the beauty of it is we're at home. That's the beauty. Like, we're at home.
Yeah.
I would be worried if we was going to Craven Cottage. I'd be worried if we was going away for some of these games. Like, even Newcastle, if we had to go to St. James's Park to play that Newcastle game, I would like a little bit. But the fact that
where's the trophy lifted? I heard they might be changing one of our games to a Monday.
We ain't played on a Monday for time, have we? I can't remember.
The dates are in. They can't change it because remember the last game of the season is played on a Sunday.
I thought
if we put it this way, if we go to the Palace, if we go to the Burnley game, needing to win Burnley to win the Premier League, obviously the Premier League title, the trophy will be there, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? Because we will get to raise it there, I suppose. But then
Burnley,
but then I'm guessing the Burnley game,
it's gonna be a madness trying to get it. Like if as soon as we get like a point advantage, it's gonna be a madness trying to get tickets to watch them.
That game's a wrap. That game's a wrap.
The Burnley game's moved.
The Burnley game is on the 18th. It's on a Monday.
Yeah, it's moved. It was supposed to be Sunday.
Yeah, it's on a Monday. See,
it was meant to be Sunday.
So I see the Premier League knows something. They're setting us up to lift the trophy on a Monday night, man.
Yeah, they've moved it to Monday for the TV coverage.
Yeah, and then what? And then that means, so that means City. Look at us, you know, we're terrible. We're crackheads. Wait, one sec.
That's our last one.
We're proper plotting, isn't it?
Yeah, so that means, let me just see something. That means Man City play Bournemouth they play Bournemouth the next day.
On Tuesday. Oh, that's the game in hand then.
Yeah, because I was going to say, because that weekend, so listen to this, right? So they play...
the FA Cup
we would have played
weekend.
2 games. So they play Everton, so that means there will be a game in hand. Then they play Brentford on the 9th.
Then the FA Cup final.
Then they play Palace on the 13th. Then they play the FA Cup final. So,
the FA Cup final is the 17th.
Yeah, and then
we play on the 18th.
Yeah, the FA Cup finals on the 16th. Yeah, and then we play on that, and then they play on, and we play on the 18th. So they play on the Saturday, and then we play on the Monday, and then they got Bournemouth on the Tuesday.
Yeah,
tough, boy. Telling you.
We need Palace to not go to the Conference League final, but I don't see that not happening. They'll get there.
Nah, but
because the final day, that's a few days before they play the Conference League final. I suppose that's not bad for us, actually.
Yeah, because the players will be fighting for their position. The players will be fighting for their position in the team.
Yeah, they're going to be
You're not going to go there and not play good.
Final,
yeah, you're going to want to play well to get into the squad, to be in the starting lineup to play for the final.
Yeah, but they're down tools, man. Palace already know who's playing, man.
There's all a lot to play for, boys. All a lot to play for, and you got to think. Yeah, man.
First things first, Fulham. Let's get the 3 points on the table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you know what? I'm not going to lie to you, yeah. I prefer a Saturday 3 p.m., you know. I don't like Saturday 5:30 and 8 o'clock.
Because there's too many eyes on us.
Yeah,
everyone just
the haters can watch it. They hate watching all the hate watching and all the negative energy. Yeah, but this is what it is. Arsenal are the most televised team. Arsenal are the most televised team. That's why we make the most money off of TV rats, because they televise pretty much all our games, isn't it?
All that under the lights.
Is that fact? Yeah, that what we is it that we're
the most televised team in the Premier League?
Is it? So what? We're Premier League's cash cow.
100%, bro. That's why they talk about us. We are I'll be honest, and I'm not saying this to be like big-headed or Arsenal and all of this, but we're the most talked about club. You see, and it's like everywhere. Like I watched the thing over the overlap with Nicky Butt and all them not chatting about us. And you go away, and how much content do you man see online of them chatting about Arsenal? Like we are the most talked about, the most hated, and that's how you
get your clicks, isn't it?
That's it. You know what I mean?
That's how you get your clicks, mate.
Boys, 3 hours and 10 minutes. We began strong.
This is our longest one yet, isn't it?
This is our longest one yet. You know what I mean? So, what time? We're playing on the weekend? We got Fulham on.
Yeah,
5:30 on Saturday.
Yeah,
man, they want to sign in and do another one of these on Saturday. I'm all for it after the Fulham game. Yeah.
Well, if you're about, I think Zest, you're away, innit?
I'll be away.
I was meant to be away as well. Are you not going Pez's thing, Doug?
Oh yeah, I might be. Anyway, we'll talk about that off camera. You get what I'm saying? We'll talk about that offline. I might be. Anyway, people, big up those that are still left. I know we've drained the hell out of YouTube and Twitch. I know people are probably logged off right now. Big up yourselves. We'll be back again later on in the week. Love, salute. Let's go.
Before we disappear, there's some big games this week. United Liverpool scores, man. Then what do you think?
Oh, hey, I think United's gonna tap. I think United's gonna smoke them. You know.
Liverpool now. I think
it's what you've gone.
Bring them man down a pet, man. The man are chatting like they're. Man, telling man today this week, yeah, and this is why we got to get in. We probably late to get into it now, but this is what I'm saying. I had United man telling me that had we not joined this game, had we not did this game, we would have won the league. And I was like,
United fans have gone crazy.
But I'm just but like I said to them, I was like, but that goes for everybody though. Arsenal can say if we didn't drop points against this team, that team, we would have already won the league by now. I would have been resting players.
Ain't you man seen all the posts like, if Man City lose 5 and Arsenal lose 5,
that's what I'm saying. But these men don't want to admit that's how they really feel, because they know they would kick and cast us down with the same delusional tag that they give us if we were saying the same things.
Wow, they're bonkers.
United, man, just focus on getting that brother a haircut, because it's 4 or 5. I think it's 4 games to go, And if you lot don't win 4 games, which you're definitely not, man's gonna have to go the whole summer without a trim. Because remember,
man.
it's only competitive games. You know what I mean? And then it's United, Liverpool, and then after that it's the big one, Villa, Spurs. You know what I mean?
Spurs are going down.
Spurs are going down. I want it that by the time we play West Ham are safe.
But you know what might save them?
Yeah, straight.
What might save Spurs is West Ham. That's what might save them.
Right, who they got?
West Ham got a couple tricky. Well, first and foremost, they got us, and that's a loss. So you know what I mean. But to be fair, they actually, if Spurs lose to Villa, which they
Spurs have got Chelsea in the last game of the season.
No, I think he's second to last or something.
Is it?
But Chelsea are waiting for him.
I know Spurs have got hard games, but and Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest has got a mad run of games as well.
Nottingham Forest, but you know what? Nottingham Forest have given themselves a little cushion still. They've done well because they've got some strong games. They've got some places to go, mate. They've got places to go, but they've given themselves a little cushion because of recent, like Gibbs White has been doing bits. West Ham got Brentford this week, then they got us, then they got Newcastle at St James Park, then they got Leeds. Oh, then they got Leeds. That's it. Yeah, so their next 4 is Brentford, Arsenal, Newcastle, and Leeds. So yeah. Brentford away, it's only down the road, but that's tricky still.
That's Tottenham fixtures, yeah. Wait, is that Tottenham's games you're saying?
No, that was West Ham. Tottenham have got
Tottenham have got Villa away.
Yeah. Then Leeds. And then Chelsea. Oh yeah, it is the last game of the season. My bad. Yeah.
No, they got Chelsea. No, Everton. They got Everton at home. They got Chelsea away. Then Everton at home.
Bro, you know Chelsea have been dire, yeah, but they're waiting for that game. You know, they are waiting for Spurs.
They want to be the one. They want to be the one that relegated them because I swear they derailed their title campaign like 10 years ago.
Yeah. You got Everton, bro. I'm telling you, they got hard fixtures, man. But they're winnable, but they got hard fixtures. I'd hate to see West Ham go down. My dad's a West Ham fan.
I don't want to see West Ham go down. Still, I don't want to see West Ham go down. I want Spurs to go down because then any banter. Well, there's not even banter. The banter's just finished. It's just finished.
It's finished. Especially when we win the league or if we win the league.
Bro, away nights at Plymouth Argyle. That is that's mad. That's mad. That's mad.
Brothers,
plays out, lads.
Sign off on the stream. Now, you ain't got to leave just yet. I'm just gonna shut the stream down. Big up anyone that's still left. Make sure you hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, definitely,
check out
man.
People, check out Big Zest.
The channel's growing. The channel's growing fast as well.
Yeah,
big
man. Big up yourselves.
Big you man up, man. Yeah, safe Doug, man. Safe Zest as well, bro. Looking forward to the next one as well, man.
Yeah, come on, man. Big up. Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I've done the wrong thing. We cancelled.
He said we're still live, man.
Yeah, bro, man.